Hey everybody, we made it. Sorry, just drawing boxes around cameras and stuff. I am Steven, your regular dungeon master. We got something a little different for you on the Faeforge Academy today. We are joined by the wonderful James Introcaso, who wrote Burn Bryte. You'll see the space stuff. You know that our show is not typically in space. Doing a one-shot through that system.
Yet.
So that's so true. That is so true. So real quick, let's just do some intros. Like I said, I'm Steven. I'm normally the DM here. We also have today, we got Adelaide right above me.
Yeah, I'm Adelaide Garner. I didn't realize I was supposed to introduce myself. It's cool. Adelaide on Twitter. I forgot we were recording a podcast. You know, it's not like we do this every other Sunday. You can find me at Adelaide. I am 1/4 of a team called Action Fiction, where we make role-playing games. Monsters America is our first game that's out now. That is a 5e compatible American cultural political satire game. Very funny. And mine will be coming out in the fall, which is Anomaly, a science fiction game as well.
Yep. And we got below me, we got Ian.
Hey everyone, my name is Ian Gould. I recently changed my Twitter handle because that seemed professional, like a good move. I'm now at ENG Gould on Twitter, and I write for GM's Guild. I play here at this podcast, Faeforge Academy, and howdy.
Across the way, we got Emily.
Yep. Hey, I'm Emily Harmon, Emily JEA Harmon on Twitter. I'm a writer for Adventures League, DM's Guild. I'm a convention organizer, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah.
And we got Michael.
Yo, what up? I am Michael Sinclair II. You may know me as Michael Crits everywhere. I stream on my own personal channel, Magic the Gathering, and all sorts of other games, and I am on a whole bunch of other D&D and TTRPG things that you can check out just by going to my Twitter, and some new stuff coming up. So.
And last but not least, our wonderful guest today, we got James running the game for us today. How you doing, James?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's really awesome to be here. And I'm James Introcaso. I'm at James Introcaso on Twitter. And
bless you.
Worldbuilderblog.com. Yeah, bless you.
Thank you.
And JamesIntrocaso.com for all of the game design stuff I'm doing. And today we're playing a game called Burn Bryte that I helped design. It is published by Roll20, and so it is available exclusively on the Roll20 platform. And you can check it out at burnbryte.com. Bryte is spelled Bryte. And I'm like a huge fan of every single person here, so thank you so much for inviting me to come do this.
Oh, of course. We're really excited to have you. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah. Let's jump in. We got a little delay on the camera, so you guys are going to have to bear with it, but we are a podcast first. So you're still going to get to see the Roll20 action in particular. That stuff looks like it's flowing fine. So yeah. The floor is yours, James.
Excellent. Cool. So we are going to start from the ground up with character creation here. So I figured what we could do is everybody could open up Roll20, and we have character sheets in here. I have 6 blank PC sheets. So let's go around. We'll each pick a number, and that number will be the sheet that you are going to work in. So don't worry too much about clicking around right now or anything like that. For now, we'll just pick our sheet number.
Okay.
So, and if we want to go right down the list, right here that I am looking at in Discord, Adelaide, you would be number 1.
Okay.
Emily, you'd be number 2.
Okay.
Ian, you'd be 3. Michael, you would be 4, and Steven, you would be 5. So,
Fabulous.
and I'm gonna make 6 so that I can work along with you all to remember how character creation works.
Classic.
Yep.
So when you open up your sheet, you can see that there are 3 tabs up at the top. One that says bio and info, one that says character sheet, and one that says attributes and abilities. Right now, click the character sheet tab, and then scroll down where it says create a PC sheet. That's what you're going to want to pick. And if anybody doesn't see that, let me know.
Loading.
I
Love
see
that.
character mancy. Oh, I have to click next. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have, would you like to use character mancer? The answer is yes to that.
Right,
next
I got
question.
it. Okay.
My sheet has skipped that process. I am directly on the sheet.
We're just doing
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm
And I
on
don't
that
know how to go
too.
back. I've never known how to go back to it after you.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that there is. So I'm going to create a new sheet.
Yeah, make
for
me a
you
new one. That's
right
fine.
now. There we go. Okay.
Cool. All right. Is that
Also, if you
Okay.
folks aren't familiar with Faeforge Academy, we're professional here, so all these hiccups, you know,
This is
it's
part
on
of the
brand.
show.
Intentional.
This
Yep.
is part
did
of
it
the
on purpose? Like those cameras that somehow got off centered? That's totally did it on purpose.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's
It's all
right.
part of the mood,
So-
the ambiance.
So let's see. So Adelaide, you have a character. Emily, did you
Yep.
say you also need a?
Nope, I'm good.
Cool. You're good.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're using the character mancer? We're not using the character mancer?
We do want to use the character mancer.
Okay.
So
Sorry, we hit.
so let me know
create
when
a PC
everybody's
sheet?
in character mancer. Yes, create a PC
Yes.
sheet. Start
Use
there.
the character
And
mancer.
then
Boom.
yes.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
cool. So we're all in. This is great podcast right now, I'm sure.
Yep.
Too. So the first thing is it gives you this little welcome message that says like, "Hey, you're about to have the time of your life playing Burn Bryte," and then click next, and that will take you to your first big choice that you make in Burn Bryte, which is your species.
Okay.
So you'll pick a name for your character as well. Right now, you can put a placeholder in if you want to pick something at the end when you know your character better. That's totally fine. So in Burn Bryte, when you start out, your species is a pretty important choice in the sense that like we have a bunch of unique species, and the species all have unique anatomies and physiologies, and those anatomies and physiologies give them some abilities and things like that. Each species also has a developed sort of homeworld culture, right? But your culture could be different because in Burn Bryte, the galaxy has been around for a while and space travel has been around for a while. So you might be from the homeworld of your species or you might be from somewhere else, and that's totally fine. So the cultures and attitudes of a species are suggestions and like, hey, here's something to go off of. They're not, this is how this species always acts or anything like that.
Okay.
So when you click on species, you can see we've got 8 of them, right? And I guess I should probably talk about Burn Bryte a little bit. This is great. We're off to a cool start. Sorry. So Burn Bryte is a world. It's a universe, right, where the final galaxy in existence is the galaxy that you're playing in. There's this phenomenon called the burn that's sort of like this orange borealis effect, like the northern lights, only they're orange and yellow and red. And it is encircled this galaxy. And anytime a planet, a spaceship, a person touches this thing, they disappear and are never seen or heard from again. So the burn is this, people don't really know what caused it. There's a lot of different theories out there. Some think it's the universe is just ending and this is how it ends, right? We had the Big Bang and now this is a slow, big shrink. And so the universe is sort of collapsing in on itself. This is the last galaxy in existence, but we think we still have like between 100 and 500 years before everything is gone. So people are still living their lives in some way or another. That said, there's a lot of panic. And there's a lot of people taking advantage of the situation, right? Like there's corporate greed, people who are trying to panic in the profit, or profit in the panic, rather. And they are trying to make, scarcity because there are all these natural resources that are disappearing as planets touch the burn and disappear, right? And so they're
seems like a
creating even
problem.
more scarcity. Yeah, exactly. Driving up prices, things like that. There's a big problem with displaced people, right? In that there are a lot of displaced people, and with resources becoming scarce, people are not always willing to let everybody into port or lend them the shirt off their back, that kind of thing, right? However, in Burn Bryte, the characters are kind of the exception, right? Burn Bryte says, yes, this is a terrible, horrible situation, but that's no reason to turn into a terrible, horrible person. That's no reason to stop hoping, right? That's no reason to stop doing good just because it looks like everything is coming to an end. And so different Burn Bryte stories tell that story of remaining a good person in the face of the impossible. And that's sort of the expectation of heroes. So now that we have that in mind, let's build some characters. So the first choice is, go ahead. Yes, questions.
Oh, I just said sweet.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I've just been
so
scrolling through all these characters, and like every one of the species is just amazing looking.
Yep.
Just literally just from the art.
Thank
I
you.
want to play all of them.
Oh yes, that makes me feel great. Yes. So yeah, we have essentially 8 different species here that are playable at the start. And so there are. I'll just sort of real quick give a description of each. The driftling are this this plastic organism that they can morph their body and they take on the characteristics of whoever they're hanging out with. So if you're hanging out with, 3 or 4 different species, your significant other might be one species. Your teammates on the ship might be another. You might have a sibling or a parent you hang out with a lot. You take on some aspect of each of them. So like you might have the eyes of one person, the body type of another, the limbs of a third, and the wings of a fourth, right?
That's so cool.
That's one of the fun things about driftlings. Yeah. The Glean are feathered aquatic creatures. They sort of look like squid, right? They have all these tendrils coming off them, but then on their head, they also have these feathers. And they have these implants that are magical that help them live. So essentially, these reliquaries, which look like gems that are inside of them, allow them to live longer and also give them some magical powers. Because without the reliquaries, they wouldn't live much past sexual maturity, which for them is about 5 years. So this helps them live a lot longer and that kind of thing. And then it also boosts them in specific ways. Each reliquary, it comes with like genetic material in it. And that genetic material gives you like a particular sort of personality boost and sort of a personality draw. So for instance, the different reliquaries, one might like make you hungry a lot more, but it also might make you more creative, that kind of thing. The Eno are a felinoid species, which is like a cat-like humanoid, and they are very, stealthy and sneaky. Naturally, sort of have that cat grace that a lot of cats have. They have a sort of rich culture where they have taken all of these different worlds that they now claim as their home worlds, and they trade on favors with one another. So that's how their economy works, is like you do something for me and it goes into my ledger, and now I can call on you when I need a favor next time, right? So that is the Eno. The Kithuk are large insectoids. They look kind of like beetles, right? They have these pincers on top of their heads. They have 4 arms, and their homeworld has actually been destroyed by the burn already. So a lot of them are refugees looking for places to go. They are very hardy, typically, and they have this like tough chitinous body. So they typically make pretty good warriors, although they're not necessarily warlike, right? They just have the build for it. Peacecraft are giant mecha that they're like actual, metal people that are sapient, and they use a larger token in Roll20, and they can carry their friends around inside of them. They were
cool.
built originally. Yeah. They were built originally as like war machines. But now they sort of don't like that. That's why they were built, and their creators actually destroyed each other in war. So that's why they renamed themselves the Peacecraft, because they have all these capabilities for war, but they sort of see it as a last resort. The Rornin are my personal favorite species. You play a swarm of 100,000 bugs that shares a hive mind when you are a Rornin. So they all move together. They speak with one voice. They used to all be part of one great hive. And then the Rornin queen was taken by the burn. And so now they can only form into these smaller hives. And so that is sort of the story with Rornin. If you play a Rornin, you have the ability to, you could like group all together in a humanoid shape and walk around, or you could be in a ball, or you could, some Rornin can split themselves into multiple hives, so you control multiple tokens on the board, that kind of thing. So those are the Rornin, and then the Olrin are a crystalline humanoid. So they're made out of crystal, usually like a pink or a blue or an orange or red. All of these very bright colors. Some are like a mix and a swirl of colors. And as they get older, their body hardens. And so they get harder and harder, and it becomes more difficult for them to move. They have a culture of piloting, so they sometimes make very good pilots and that kind of thing, but they also can enter these periods of like intense focus, where their body glows a little bit and they are able to focus better on tasks. And then what might be the weirdest of our species is the Zavoy, which are a large slug, and they puppet dead bodies. So they, when a body dies, a Zavoy can crawl inside of it, and then sort of puppet it and use that body to do things. Again, culturally, that's how they evolved on their planet. So a lot of them have the idea of like, we're just using all the resources we can. We're conservationists, right? So that is a Zavoy. So does anybody have any idea of like what they want to play? And we can have multiple other species if two people, if everybody really wants to be a Peacecraft, we can do that. Doesn't really matter.
I know, Michael, you had some thoughts already, right?
Yes. My plan was to do the Rornin. That just appealed to me. Like I looked at this Zavoy first, and I was like, okay, because I heard about the Zavoy, and then that wasn't around the flavor I wanted. But then I looked at the Rornin, and it looks like that's around the style, the flavor, the kind of beings that I like to play. So I think that's the choice I'm gonna go with.
I feel like as the person who you and Ian, I think, did the most homework, so I feel like you guys should get the first choice. I think. Are you muted, Ian?
Am I?
Now you're here.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. That's good. No, I don't think both people can pick the same thing. It's all right. But I'm going to be playing a magic cat for sure.
Nice.
I'm like,
Excellent.
cat folk that can have magic and have magical abilities. Yeah, that's done.
I think
Excellent.
I like the Ulran, the crystalline people. Just crystals are cool. that's my whole reasoning.
Sound logic
Works for me.
I'm going with.
Kithuk?
Oh, you go.
Kithuk, because I like their like cultural backstory, I guess.
Cool. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I thought I was gonna go with the slug person, but I'm gonna go with a driftling. I got a concept in mind.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
excellent. Yes. So once you pick your species, right, and there may be a few things under there that you need to pick. So like an Eno needs to pick their sort of distinct house that they come from. That just sort of determines in addition to like what your fur pattern might look like, although you can customize that to be whatever you want. Ian, I'm not here to tell you what kind of cat to be. Live your life.
Hey, I'm already building my elaborate cat name. I love the naming structure that where they have it's like a Russian like Dostoevsky name where they have like 15 parts and like their familial name and like the name that their like colleagues would call them, which is not the same name their mother would call them. This is great.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that is Cat Cool, who's one of the co-designers in
Mhm.
this. She was very big on the naming structure, and it is a lot of fun to name your and then to get mad when people use your familiar
oh, right,
name.
of
and not your
course.
full
You'll know me. One thing to point out as I've been clicking around here, one thing I really appreciate about the way Burn Bryte's set up here is that everything is hyperlinked. So you can basically be looking at, for example, I can be looking at the Eno and I can say, oh, like what is the Volvi system? And look at the War Bright. And then I can hyperlink around and easily get lost inside of this hyperlink document. But then I can scroll back to there's a little eye next to species. I can click on that or a little eye next to the drop down for whatever species I've chosen. It'll take me right back to where I started.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really like about the way you've set up this, or that the Burn Bryte's been set up here in Roll20. This is great.
Yeah, good UI, really good.
Really good.
Oh,
Well,
wow. Okay, cool.
I've got my name.
So,
'cause-
oh,
mostly because I saw the last name for the Oron. One of the options was Teraboro Boy, and I don't know what it is about that, but I feel like it called to me.
sure. Yeah. You got to be a Terabora boy.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah. So as you there are sample names then at the bottom of each. And when you're ready, click on over to culture, and we can talk about how you build or select a pre-made culture in Burn Bryte. So, which is sort of the way you build your culture then determines all of the character options you get after that.
Oof.
All right. Next. Okay.
You hit next. You don't hit the tab. Let's see if I can make this a little wider. Do that.
There we go.
Okay.
Can I get that over? Can I get all 4 of those in there? So I'm trying to get the
Oh, go for it.
Sweet.
Sorry for moving stuff around on your screen, y'all, but want you to be able to see everything as best as possible.
All right.
Yeah. So, is everybody good to move on to culture?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. So within your culture, you have some options here, and you can select a pre-made culture, which is like, hey, if you want to be from, a system that already exists in Burn Bryte, great. But space is really big, even shrinking space, and so we give people the option to create their own culture and their own world as well. And so if you pick one of these cultures, right, and if you're interested in a pre-made culture, we can kind of talk about each, but you can see there are these options too in the table that kind of tell you at a quick read what each culture is like. An isolationist culture means that they're not really keen on opening their borders up too much, and then we talk about diversity, right? Being do you have an inclusive society where hey, everybody of all species are welcome? Is it more homogenous where it's kind of one species here and that's it? Or is it partitioned where it's we do have multiple species, but they don't really hang out together, right? The economy, is it a poor or wealthy or a intermediate system? And then the density, is this a system? Do you come from a place that is like a city? Do you come from a place that's very rural, or do you come from somewhere in between, like a suburban society? So those are some things that you can pick if you customize, or you can select one of the pre-made ones. Each option you pick is going to determine what skills where you can like use your skills, where you can use things like your special abilities, and how much money you start with. So those are sort of the 3 variable levers that we're picking here as we go through. But I would say pick whatever makes sense with your story as you're thinking about your character, like where do they come from, and that kind of thing, because everybody is going to have some skills, some money, and some special ability.
Okay.
So, and if you want to build a custom culture, you select the custom option. And if you want to select one of the pre-mades, we can. And if somebody has a question about one of the systems, I'm happy to answer that.
I noticed that you have Casino Planet.
We do have a casino planet, yes. Yes. So if you wanna come from a wealthy casino planet, the Azabni system is the one for you. Yeah.
I like this grid here because I can do a quick filter for like, well, I want to be from an inclusive society, but I want to be rich, and then I can just go through. I'm like, oh, okay, oh, there it is.
Rich.
Inclusive rich. I can have both in Casino
Yes.
World. The Oz
Yes,
system.
yeah.
I love it. This is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and there's actually an adventure that comes with Burn Bryte, a starter adventure, and it starts on that planet. So if people are curious about the casino planet, the starter adventure begins there, and you can watch. I'm sure other people have streamed that starter adventure, so we're doing something a little different today.
All right.
All right.
Oh, there's so many choices.
I
Even
think I
just-
got mine.
I got mine.
I'm gonna just pick one and see what happens.
Okay.
I love it.
Classic.
I love it.
I'm going with the Cavabel asteroid field.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
I feel like they have some sweet cantinas on the asteroid field for sure.
Yeah. I mean, asteroids are big resource-rich places that are filled of minerals and water and ice and stuff like that. So, it would definitely be a place where civilization sort of springs up, and maybe there are jobs mining them. So the next thing you pick, and this will not have a lot of bearing on today's game because we're not playing like a super sustained game. So don't worry too much about this because there are 40 options here, is your story path. So in Burn Bryte, right, you have your species and you have your story path. And a story path is a 5-act, 5-event, really, storyline that determines how your character advances for a little bit. And so they have these broad titles, usually like Revenge or Discovery or A Company, right? And each one then says, like, this is the story your character is embarking on. And the way you level up is by going through these different events. And events can have different outcomes. So, for instance, in Revenge, you may decide, I don't actually want to take revenge, right? Or I don't want to take revenge further than this, or whatever it is. And so you get different abilities as you move through the story based on the choices you make. And so this was a way to sort of, a lot of games, and I'm sure we have many people who work on games and play games here, playing this game with us today, right? Like a game, the way a game rewards you is the way it tells you it wants you to be interacting with the game. And so this was a way to sort of put the story focus first, is to say, hey, here you go. Here are the stories you can interact with. As you do, you will level up. So that's the idea behind them.
When I was reading through kind of the base mechanics, this was one of the things I thought was the most interesting of like building those arcs into character development and giving characters and GMs like tools to know how to interact and where the story could possibly go. It's a really cool narrative and mechanical like merging.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
really
that was the hope, and the hope is, that you as the GM then can look at it and say, oh, this is the kind of game my players want to play. This is the story they want to tell, because they've literally said, I'm taking, this story path where I make a friend who is an animal. And so therefore this is the path I would like to be. Yeah.
It's not popping up on the feed for whatever when I do the drop down menu, but there's just a ton of options for those of you who are watching right now.
How many did you say there were, Steven?
40?
40.
40? Good Lord. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and the idea is when you finish one, you can then start another one, right?
Yeah.
So because there are only 5 events, they're shorter than like a D&D class, right? Or a giant path in like a Genesis game, right? That kind of thing. They're much shorter, and so you could have one, and then hopefully the way that one ends can maybe lead you to your next one. And sometimes you might do the same one over and over again, right? Like, so mystery is one you could take multiple times, because maybe you don't solve the mystery at the end of the first time you do the mystery story path, and so you want to get back into it, right?
Yeah.
Michael's enticed.
I found one. Sorry, I found one that's very to my warlock Hy-Vee ways right now. So don't mind me. I'm just.
What did you find, Michael? What did you
I'm
find?
hot and bothered. So I'm Gordon. And there's the artifact unleash, and I'm like reading through the events, and it gets compelling. Like it kind of creates some moral conflict there. So that's my ish.
That's right. I like that.
Excellent. So you're gonna go artifact unleashed, Michael?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be sad.
I think as I'm starting to pick stuff, so I chose an Olran from an asteroid field, and I was clicking through this drop down menu and saw create masterpiece, and I thought as I'm thinking about this crystalline being who grew up on probably like this mining asteroid, going like, there's got to be something more. I want to create something. So that's where I'm starting to go.
Are you doing a create
I love
masterpiece as well?
Yeah.
So am I.
Let's make a masterpiece together.
Well, I am a philosopher, okay? So
Oh.
I'm going to write
Yes.
the cave or something.
Right.
The cave,
You
amazing.
get out of the galaxy, and it's another galaxy, and then it's another,
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Bright,
galaxies all the way down.
the Burn Bryte is just where you transition to a higher state of being. And that's the cave.
We're gonna have
The
to keep
cave
Adelaide
is
from just sprinting
Bryte.
straight at the burn.
That's awesome. Yes. All right, cool. Emily, do you have any idea what you would want to do for your story path?
Yep. I picked a company.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So you'll be looking for someone to help do a thing, right? To accompany on a mission, basically.
Yes.
And Ian.
Well, as Magic Cat from Casino World, I have to pick Heist because apparently I'm just playing Julia Roberts, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah. I've often thought of Julia Roberts as a Magic Cat from Casino World. So that makes sense.
Can we get a little pretty woman thrown in there just as a treat?
Sure.
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
Adelaide.
Thank you.
Hey, and
That's
you
the
and-
best Julie Roberts.
You and Steven already have a ghost moment by you going inside his mech. Wait, no, he's not a mech, right? He's the crystalline dude, but you
Yeah.
can still
Yeah.
have a ghost moment where you work on the sculpting together.
Oh wow.
No!
This is gonna get spicy.
Dreadful.
You're welcome.
We work on. Well, he has been a crystal masterpiece. That could be, that could be part of it.
Cool. Well, then I think we're ready to hit next. So this is skills, right? We're now in the point where we are putting our skills. So this is a skill-based game, right? And so before you start increasing die sizes and things like that, take a look at your skills, right? You've got skills like computers, engineering, medicine, knowledge, perception, streetwise, and these are just your mental skills. You also have, if you click next or previous here, up at the top next to mental, you'll see you've got physical skills and you've got social skills as well. Each of them right now starts at a D4, right? And a D4 is the worst a skill can be. The best it can be is a D12. And we'll get into why as we start playing the game, why those numbers, why it's better for bigger is better, right? But in the meantime, when you look down here, it tells you how many skill die increases you have, right? So you can, for instance, the culture, and this is based on the culture that you picked, probably has at least a 1 in one of the D12 in the D12 column somewhere. So if it's like in mental, that means you can increase one of your mental skills to a D12, no questions asked, right? If you have a 1, you should have at least 1 in your D10. You might have more. That means you can increase that social, mental, or physical a D10. And then in the any row, right, you've got some other numbers. Any means it's not limited to the category of skill, right? You can increase any number of skills to a D3 or to a D6 that have, I'm sorry, I'm saying this totally incorrectly. So if you have a 3 in any under D6, that means you can increase any 3 skills to a D6, right? If you have a 2 under any in D8, that means any skills you can increase to a D8. So that's how that works. As you're going through, if you have a +1, does anybody have a +1 column in their
do.
I do.
Okay. So that means one of your skills, you can increase another die size, right? Ooh. So you can bump that up. The way, so when you are increasing a skill, if you're using one of your any boosts, you want to click the checkbox next to the skill, right? And that will let you know that, okay, you're using one of the any boosts. It's not a particular like mental, physical, or social. It's an any. Okay. If you are using a +1 boost, and it's a any, right? You can use that second column to put a 1 in there, and that will let you know. So the reason that you're doing that is you want all of the numbers on your grid to become 0. And that's how you'll know you've spent them all. Okay. If for some reason it's not showing up, don't worry too much about it. It's totally fine.
Okay.
So now in certain role-playing games, we can all play charisma-based casters with an armor class of 11, and it's okay because Steven's a very merciful DM. But in other...
Some example like that.
Hypothetically.
Just theoretically, yeah.
But is there a moment here where we want to like talk about like splitting up roles as far as like skill distribution, like as a team, or is that not so important for Burn Bryte?
So that is not super important for Burn Bryte in the sense that like you can and I did this to myself because I also wrote the game, right? You can use any skill you can justify using to the GM.
Which is amazing.
That's like one of the core tenets of this, and you're also going to want to use skills that you are bad at, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. Awesome. But there's a reason to use D4 skills, and even if you fail at them, there's that. That being said, when you fail a skill roll in Burn Bryte, you don't just fail to do the thing. Bad stuff happens. So that's the other thing. Every time you fail, you're gonna like break something or hurt something or make somebody really mad, that kind of thing.
I love it. There was a question in the chat actually. Says, from what I can see, the create masterpiece description on the screen, which sounds neat, it seems art focused. I wonder if it can also be engineering focused, like the Dragonlance 2E Tinker Gnome culture.
Oh, good question. So yes, it can, although there's also a story path called Innovate. And that is a little bit more engineering, science-y focused too. So you could definitely create masterpieces sort of about a piece of art you would want to create, and Innovate is sort of about creating a science-y masterpiece.
And then this is just a clarification for me. So for the skills, when we're upgrading a skill that's like, so I have a physical D10, I use the drop down for that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll always use the drop down to adjust. It's just you don't need to do anything else.
Okay.
If you are using an any, you'll want to use the column on the
Oh,
right,
and
the
the
first column
drop-down.
on the right from that,
Got it.
and the drop down. Yeah, yeah. And if you're doing it as in any, you'll click the box. So, and just Roll20 is sort of always working to improve this. If we had played 2 weeks ago at launch, this would look very different. So, one of the things is it's cool that they're fast, and it's also cool for like when you put out a book, if there's like a typo or an update that needs to be made, it can instantly be made. So that's
If
nice.
we find any typos as we're going through here, should we let you know, James, in a way that is not live?
Yes,
Or live,
odds
whatever your choice is.
Odds are someone has already let us know, because the internet is very kind in pointing out.
Oh,
flaws.
Yeah, very
I
kind.
hear, I hear
true.
that that's what the internet's known for is kindness.
Kindness. It's a kind.
Yeah, constructive criticism is one of the hallmarks of the comments section.
Can you explain the +1 column again?
And while you do
Yes,
that, I'm going to
definitely.
hop off for a sec to use the restroom because that's my MO. So go ahead and do the thing. I finished it up, but yeah.
Oh, you think you're better than us?
The bladder of a peanut.
So, so
Welcome to the
Adelaide,
Faeforge Academy.
where is your one in your?
It says any. I have 2 in any.
Okay, cool. So that means any 2 skills you can boost up another die size, right? So you can boost a D6 to a D8 or 2 D4s to a D6, whatever you want to do. And when you do that, just put a 1 in the like the box immediately next to the pull down, right?
Okay.
So
Okay. So even the ones that I've already boosted, I can boost them higher.
you
Is
can,
that-
yes. You
okay.
do want at the end of this, you do want at least 1 skill of every die size. So at least 1
Yeah.
D4, 1 D6, 1 D8, 1 D2.
Oh yeah, I've got plenty D4s.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a critically like just min. There's no max. It's just min.
Just min.
Yeah.
I built the character, okay, and sometimes I suck. Most of the time.
It's okay.
James, which of these skills has the best synergy with magic?
With like casting magic, is that what you're
Yeah,
thinking
let's
about?
do that. Yeah.
So there isn't really like a casting system.
Okay.
Sorry, I set you up for failure on that one.
That's cool.
But
I understand the
actually,
game's
like,
played.
knowledge. Yeah, exactly. What do you want to do? You can't. Knowledge would be the one that's
All right.
that's gonna get you that. Yeah, and like, that's like knowing about magic. A lot of magic in Burn Bryte is done via ritual. So like it takes a long time to cast. There isn't a lot of like shooting fireball spells.
Pew,
That
pew,
makes
pew,
sense.
pew. I mean, pew, 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 pew.
On mine, I was upgrading my deceive to a D6 using one of my +1 any's, and then it gave me a -1 in my social column. in the
Oh
D6.
yeah. So and that. Gotcha. Did you check the box next to the skill where you increased to D6? Yeah, check that and it'll
Got it.
adjust. Yeah, I know. This is a little confusing, and apologies to podcast listeners, so who cannot see what we're doing right now.
I think I'm probably going to put a little disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast and say like, hey, jump to minute 47 if you want to actually listen to us play. And this will also go up
we're
on
almost
YouTube
there.
as well.
Ooh, what's up?
Let's go. Mental. Do I have any more of those? So let's go.
Right.
Any.
I am good to go for next
Cool.
steps.
Yep, same here.
I am not. Keep going though. Without me, leave me behind.
Oh, even know.
Okay. Is every other than Steven, is Adelaide, Michael, you're good?
I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one last D6 I'm looking for a home for, but I'm good otherwise.
Charisma.
Okay, cool.
Or
Charisma.
presence.
I already have that.
Presence.
Yeah. I'll
No,
put it in
that's
suave.
intimidation. Yeah,
Put it in
suave.
I mean, we
suave.
can all be very suave and
Suave.
presentful.
I have 0 social skills, so
We just all
Not
walk
my
in, but it's
hero.
like it suddenly turns slow mo, and it's so strange. Like we just burst out of the doors, all in random
Yes, I love it.
The whole thing's a music video.
Yeah.
Everyone stops and stares. Great, it'll be great.
The only social skill I haven't upgraded is perform.
Fair.
And so the next thing that we're looking at here is your special abilities, right? So when you go into there, special abilities are things, they're kind of like feats in older editions of D&D. They're not quite as powerful as like 5.0, 5.0, 5th edition. There is no extra thing yet for D&D. But yeah, so you can pick these different skills, and it will show you how many you have based on your culture as you scroll down. But once you pick your special abilities, then you also have Nova abilities, which are things that you use sometimes, and they're usually really powerful abilities. So everybody should have at least 2 Nova abilities and at least 1 special ability that they can pick. Some of you might have as many as 4 special abilities that you can pick. And if you're looking
see.
for, like, when you click one, it should tell you what it is. And some do have prerequisites, which is usually another special ability that you have to take before you can get that one.
I think I found one that was this one.
I just want to take True Friend, but I have to have 3 prerequisites first. I just want a friend. I want a mechanically granted friend.
I'm a glowing crystal person, so that's cool.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Mind shards. What is that? Oh, you need shard body first. Shoot.
Yes. Yeah. That's when you grow shards on yourself.
Yeah, that's happening.
I appreciate, Adelaide, I really appreciate your contribution of Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts, because that's really helped me flesh out this character. I'm like, what would Ocean's 8 / Pretty Woman's Julia Roberts pick? This is my guiding
Next
star.
mistake. Huge.
It's great. What about Homecoming, Julia Roberts?
You know, I've never seen Homecoming, so
Ah,
I got some homework to do. All right.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
She's not on the podcast version, though, but your friend, David Schwimmer, is.
Ooh.
Yeah. Think about that.
There it is.
That's what he's been doing.
All right, so technical question.
Yes.
I have enough slots that I can take True Friend, and I can get the 3 prerequisites for it. But if I fill them all in, it's got like a red box surrounding prerequisites when I go to select True Friend. Do I have to like level before I can get that? Or...
No, you should be able to get True Friend. So it's just not letting you do it because of the prerequisites. If you hit next, will it let you go?
I will try. Nope. It says not all prereqs have been met. Continue anyways, question mark.
Yeah, so just hit yes, you want to continue anyway, and I
Alright.
will write that down as a bug for Roll20.
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick your but go back if you still need to pick your Nova abilities too.
Good. Take the pain, avenge the fallen. Come with me. Yeah, I got them all. Okay.
Yeah, you got them.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah,
So,
One of the things that's great about Roll20 is it's pretty easy to override stuff because they do want you to be able to hack Burn Bryte the way you would any other playing game, right?
Fair.
So they will often say like, "Oh, you might not be able to do this, but you actually can." And this seems like it's actually a bug, but luckily the workaround lets us still do what we want to do here.
Yeah.
See that? Oh, that's cool.
This is I'm appreciating as I'm going through these different special abilities how the whole system ties together. For example, there's one here called Not the Obvious Lesson, where you can transform any dice improvement that you would have gotten from your path into a social dice, and it's just like really cool. I appreciate like how just interwoven these different mechanisms are to put together a to like really kind of like flesh out a character. Is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, thank you. So yeah,
All
it's
right.
cool. So does everybody have special abilities and Nova abilities at this point?
I have one more to
believe-
pick.
Nah, not chat.
Okay,
I
that's
have
totally
no-
fine.
Oh, there's a next button. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I also just got
No
that.
problem. Yeah. Well, and that's what's confusing is
Okay.
there's a next button and a second next button.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Uh,
okay.
Wait a minute. I already have that. I have the last. I'm on my last Nova option. I already did the other one, so I'm almost done here.
and you also all get a free species ability as well. That
Yeah.
should have been filled in when you showed up. So
Mine doesn't have the description in my free species ability. Is that?
that's not good. I can send it to you. So I'll make sure that you have it.
Thanks. It's
Roarnet.
Oran. Danger response.
Oh, Oren.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know this game.
That sounds dope. I think I got mine on lock. Oh man, the Ronin is so cool. I don't know if I'll ever play anything else in this game.
Hooray!
Also, I'm a little concerned at Michael falling in love with this. He's gonna start trying to push the Faeforge Academy just to transfer to the Burn Bryte universe.
Just certain elements, not wholesale.
Right. Just bring Ronin in.
That's all.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Besky's about to go through a weird transformation.
Weird.
Okay.
He just
Once we're
becomes
good-
stars, which is same thing as like bugs, right?
That's so
Whatever.
true. Once we've got all our abilities selected, next again.
Yes, yeah, and I just dropped the text for danger response in there for you, Stephen.
Oh, cool.
All right.
So yeah,
Done.
so this is the final thing we're going to do here is spend equipment, or spend equipment, buy equipment. You can see you've got a total amount of money in the bottom there. If you have money left over, that's a good thing. So in Burn Bryte, you get individual money to buy your stuff during character creation, and then all surplus money is thrown into a group pot. And that group pot is on your ship character sheet, which is something you all share together. And so people pull from the group pot. There are ways to like essentially bank your money so that it accrues investments, and you make some money if you don't touch it for a while, right? So that is the idea. And also in Burn Bryte, because remember what I said earlier about skill rolls being failed, stuff breaks a lot. There's more of a reason to access your money more often. So everybody has a different amount of money to spend. I'm gonna shout out, because this is a huge list of stuff. I'm gonna shout out some things that you may all want. And we can go from there. So one thing that you may all want is a communications badge. Everything's in alphabetical order. And you get that by going to the rightmost column and changing the number that you want. Communication badge is like a little badge that you wear or carry, and it allows you to communicate with anyone no matter what language you or they speak and understand. And it also allows you to read any language. So that is one thing that is like a handy thing for everybody to have. There are as far as like your weapons go, right? Because there is a little combat in Burn Bryte. If you scroll down to the L section, we've got laser rifle, laser pistol, laser sniper rifle, laser sword. So those are all exactly what they sound like. There's also knife, the sonic caber, which is a really big, slow, like column, essentially, that when you hit somebody creates a sonic wave. So those are some of the fun things there. There are personal shield generators, which can essentially give you extra health levels. If you do buy those, right underneath that is a plasma power cell. You'll want to buy those because every time you get hit, you need to put a new power cell in to regenerate. If you do that, there's fun stuff then, like the slicer kit is used by hackers if somebody wants to be able to hack into things. There's a smart slab, which is like a personal computer. They can be all different sizes and shapes. And this is the other thing: any equipment you get is it all comes in different sizes and shapes. So it could, what a Ronin's smart slab is may look very different than what a Eno's smart slab is. So there's that idea. There's also a bunch of stuff on here that's like fun or used for hobbies and things like that. Like I think there are chef's tools and glass blowers tools and things like that for people who are artistes. So is there any question or anything someone is looking for specifically that they don't know where to find?
I think we should just pool our money together and I'll buy a tank.
Fair.
Awesome.
Quick question.
Give me a reason why we shouldn't do it.
Because I've already spent all mine.
I honestly don't have a good one.
So bye. It's okay.
Yeah, quick question, James. I noticed that there's a lot of items on this list that are different types of musical instruments. Is there something about the world of Burn Bryte and music that we should know about?
Just that music is great, and so if you want to be able to play music, you can. So remember earlier when I was talking about justifying a skill, right? So if you wanted to say, I'm going to use perform, and I'm going to try to calm this animal before me with music, right? Then I would probably let you try that, right? If you wanted to impress somebody that you're going to have a meeting with, and you say, you know, I pull out my my stringed instrument and I play a sweet tune to sort of set the mood for the meeting, I would allow that. So it's that kind of thing. It's any of these things can be used in ways that you think you can justify them. So yeah. Which does lead to interesting BS.
Which is
what role-playing games are all about. Yeah.
I'll get one of those. So you said you have to spend a plasma power cell every time you use the personal shield generator?
Yeah, every time you get hit, basically, your cell dies, and so you need to replace it.
Okay, we'll take 4 of those.
Oh, okay.
Portable shelter.
So that's like,
Yeah, portable shelter. You know.
Nice.
and you said you recommended the personal shield generator and the power cell, right?
Yeah, that's something you can get if you've got a lot of money. You can get a military generator, which lets you use 2 power cells at once. So that's a thing.
All right, so I see here that there is.
Is it tabletop role
Oh,
playing
never
game?
mind. The answer to my question. Yeah, I was asking what are the role playing games? Because there's board games, there's video games, but I see
Oh, yeah,
board
there's-
games. We've got Spheres and Stroids.
That's right. Yeah, each one comes with a with an example. But yeah, there's a tabletop role playing game as well, which
there?
is called.
Oh, there is. There it is.
Yeah. So you can buy tabletop role playing games
Oh,
for
course.
200.
Yeah. Centurion.
Uh,
Game Master runs for 3 or more players who are all spies investigating supernatural conspiracies and mysteries. Done. Bought. Done.
That's an
Okay.
homage. During the playtest, somebody was taking Create Masterpiece, one of the designers, and
Aw.
their masterpiece they were trying to create was a tabletop role playing game.
Nice.
So I know the Sonic Caber says it sounds very badass, but in my head, all I can think of are those like '90s plastic whirly tubes that you.
It could totally be that if you want. That's fine.
All right. I think I figured it all out, maybe. Ugh. I might have to change some abilities. I might have to move some stuff around.
Oh no.
I thought I saw some sort of fancy clothes. Did I see that?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
they're
A
formal
formal
attire.
attire.
Formal
attire,
attire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Formal attire.
James, is there any of this equipment here that would help with magic?
With magic. Good question. So I don't know that there is. I think so plasma is used a lot in magic. I could see you making an argument about breaking open plasma power cells to boost magic.
Oh, okay, perfect. I don't think I need to get the badge. I did read about the badge that most people in the galaxy have that badge to communicate, but since I'm a Ronin, I already have telepathy and I need it for some other stuff, so this works out great.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. You can telepathically communicate with people. Did you
Dope.
take the ability where you can go into people's brains?
No,
Um,
maybe.
I mean, why wouldn't you? That's what I need to know.
I don't know if I picked
Yeah.
the exact one that you are talking about, but I have someone that are a little bit more like spy and like stuff like that. I think the only one I have that's like that interrupts someone or whatever is just the psychic interference, but I think that's the only like weird one. I don't have one that like I don't remember which ability you're speaking into, but I think I saw it and I chose not to pick that because that felt weird.
It probably did feel weird. Yeah, no. So did you took telepathy as an ability, right?
Yeah, and then I picked deep brain as well.
Yes. So for telepathy, there is an ability where if one of your allies willingly accepts a Ronin into their body, they can communicate telepathically with anyone else who has done that.
Oh, cool.
So you can create like essentially
Network.
a psychic relay for all of your friends to communicate telepathically with each
Right,
other.
but the bugs only last outside of my own main body for only so long, right? Until they have to hop back to me.
Yes, but with telepathy, so with this ability, it's basically they're in there until you decide they're not.
Okay, so they're happy
Or your friend.
with a friend.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because they're still like connected to you through the power of friendship.
Ah, perfect.
I love
Okay,
it.
I think that's
So
good.
it's up to your friends if they want to let a bug crawl into their body.
Can't be real friends for that one.
Okay, I'm all set.
Yep. I'm going to press next
All right.
and donate the rest of my monies to the community pile.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, y'all are so rich.
Yeah, wow.
I had 5,000 total.
I had like
To start.
15,000 total.
I'm a
Oh my
generous god.
gosh.
You had 50?
You are a
Yeah.
Adelaide's buying the tank for everybody.
I'm about to say we're gonna get it. We're gonna
You get a tank. You get a tank.
So yeah. So now you probably see like your actual character sheet, right?
We had to the review. Yeah. Oh wait,
Yeah.
you're about to navigate away. Any leftover Argent? Oh, will be sent to the group chat. Got it. Okay.
So once that's done and you've got your character sheet, you should be able to pull up your character and it should have a bunch of information.
Oh, click. Yeah, once you click finish. Clicking finish. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's real clean looking.
Okay.
Thanks. So now that you've got your sheet in front of you, there may be some things you need to adjust on it. So the only thing that I think your health levels. So if you didn't take an ability that increased your health levels, then your health levels are 3 out of 3. So you can put 3 and 3 in those boxes. That 0 out of 10 you see on the sheet in orange is actually placeholder. And then shield charges, if you took a shield generator, you would put 1 out of 1 for a personal shield generator or 2 out of 2 for a military shield generator.
Got it.
If you took anything that increased your health levels 1, it's 4 out of 4. If you took 2, it's 5 out of 5. I think the Olrin can go up very high. So don't freak out. A lot of weapons do 1 damage. So that's how Burn Bryte works. So your health is not as low as it seems.
Easy.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, these character sheets are really clean.
Yeah, the Roll20 team worked super hard on this.
Can tell,
and they're
for sure.
still, yeah, they really did, and they're constantly improving and stuff like that. So, so that is a fun thing. So on your sheet, if you scroll down too, you should be able to see like your story path is there. If you click that, your special abilities, all of your equipment should show up that you've purchased and that kind of thing. So if everybody's cool with that, we can bring up the PC ship sheet.
Yeah.
And the PC ship sheet allows us to do a few different things. So first, we've got to pick the ship we want. So we've got 3 different ships that you can pick at the start of. And I'm going to show them off to you now here in Roll20. So the first is the Bolt. And as we pull out here, don't worry too much about like the text and stuff on here. Since we're only playing a one-shot, we may not be spending a ton of time on the ship. So the Bolt is like a fancy sort of traditional rocket ship shape. They are very comfortable, which means that so you have what's called a livability rating of a ship, and then a ship also has health level. If your ship is like built for war, it's got a lot of health levels, but usually a lower livability rating. The Bolt has the highest livability rating of all the ships. It is the most comfortable to live in. It doesn't have a lot of weapons or tricked out things like that with it, but it does come super duper comfy. So that is the Bolt, and it looks like this this cute rocket ship shape.
It's all black for me.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
screen
we're
is
not
black
seeing
as
anything.
well.
What? Okay. Hang on.
There you go.
How's that?
Nice.
There you go.
Looks great.
It's a bolt.
Cool. I just wanted you to have the podcast experience.
Right. Yeah, it's like, nah. You should have shown like
So,
my
yeah.
windshield while I'm driving.
Right. So that's the
Or
Bolt.
driving.
The Wanderer is like an old cargo ship. So it's not as comfy as the Bolt, but it's a little more sturdy. It has some weapons on it to like repel pirates and stuff like that. It's kind of like your classic Millennium Falcon type ship.
And a plus, it looks like a turtle.
That
And it
is,
does look
that's
like
a big
turtle.
plus.
Soothing.
that is a big
Big
plus.
plus.
Actually.
Big plus.
And then the last ship we have is the Predator, right? This is your Rocinante, your warship, right? This is built for blowing stuff up. And so it's not as comfy. It's a little more military industrial kind of inside, a little more cramped. But if what you want to do is shoot a lot of things from outer space, then this is the ship for you. So do you all have a preference of which sort of ship you'd like?
Well, Space Magic Cat, Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman wants the cozy ship.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like the turtle ship.
I know the turtle ship is
I like the turtle ship.
Would you have
Very
liked it if
close
it
on
wasn't
the
referred to as a turtle, though?
I like it because it's the middle road. You know, we're not going to get in any situation where we're the opposite of the equipped that we need to be.
That's fair. That's
And
fair.
it looks like a turtle, and we could get an external paint job to make it like a specific space tortoise theme. To it.
I mean,
I
let's
like the way you're
let's
thinking.
put our priorities
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
here. We-
I was
need
skeptical at
brand.
first. But I'm sold now. So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I like your
actually,
pitch. I'm with it.
yeah.
Mhm. Branding. It's
So
important.
the
Did we rename it
Wait,
Yordle?
what Yordle? Yeah.
Yes.
Yordle.
So the Wanderer has a livability rating of 2 and 4 health levels. So you've got that going for you. Your ship should have a cool name. Or I shouldn't say cool. That's too much pressure. Your ship should have a name. So
Yordle.
it's up to you.
yeah, I
Yordle?
mean,
Yordle.
Yordle seems very easy.
Appropriate.
Yordle the turtle.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so Yordle is also ships in Burn Bryte are driven by an MI, right? This magical intelligence that has been bound to the ship, and gives the ship thrust and lift so that it doesn't rely on fuel all the time, right? Which is very scarce. And so Yordle is not just a spaceship. Yordle is like a being
Yes.
that is attached to your spaceship as well.
That's so
Who
fantastic.
will-
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So we've been building characters for a little while. I know, and then we went a little, but why don't we go around and introduce ourselves, and then we can hop right into it, and then and we'll go for a little bit, and then we'll go there. Does that work for everybody?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So Steven, tell me who you're playing.
Okay, I am playing Mondu Terabora, an Olran crystalline person. I think he's probably similar to the artwork. Got that blue crystalline look to him. Dresses very fancy as far as what he's actually wearing, but you can tell he doesn't know how like the clothes are supposed to fit together. As he like grew up in this mining asteroid place, but doesn't like it, likes things that are nice and look nice, but has had no real exposure to what that actually means. So he's just like trying to cobble together anything that he thinks looks fancy and away from like this mining world, and has lots of different like art supplies to try to make things, yeah, pushing back against his mining heritage as much as possible.
Aw.
Oh, it's adorable. You've come to the big city now, and you're yeah, I love it. Yes, Michael, who are you playing?
I am playing Balang Ket, or you can just call him Ket. He's obviously a Warnan. I'm just gonna go. He is from the Herzat system, where he essentially is just it's a mercenary planet, but he essentially just does a lot of job for hire on that system. He doesn't really move away from there except once, and essentially he just provides services to these mercenaries via mechanical work, computer work, and then when he did take a job off the system, he ended up with his storyline. I think you mentioned that the inside the planets they had like these beings that essentially, and that's what the fuel that fuels everything. I'd like to think that at some point he acquired a bone or some sort of piece of that, and he's been carrying that, and that's the artifact that he's carrying around, and it's starting to like grow and change and stuff within the hive. And I think that's
dope.
Balang Ket's character.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there used to be, way before all of these species we have before us were here, there was this species that people refer to as omniscience. and they were like super powerful and magical. And then they burrowed under the ground when they had a war amongst themselves. And many of them died in the ground. And that's where we get a magic goop called plasma from. But their remains are there. And so you have a bone of an omniscient, which I love. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Adelaide, who are you playing?
I am playing Absolute, a driftling from the Sela galaxy area. I forget what it was.
Neighborhood.
From Sela.
Location.
Yeah, they're very they look very much an amalgamation hodgepodge thing where you can't kind of see what's left from right. Kind of bluish tinted. They got some crystals. They have some sluggy like body that's like, you know, like when you pull a slug up and it's got like the little folds that are up, you know, that's it. But you know, it's very voluptuous, little sensual slug action there. You hear some bees. You can't see the bees, but you can hear the bees. And very monastic like clothing, a white robe, this kind of slim cut to the body, showing off the figure.
Sure.
And they talk in a very monotone kind of voice, very soothing, pleasant. And that's
Love it.
that's Absolute.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Emily, who are you playing?
Yeah, I am playing Ruka. Ruka is a Kithuk from a custom culture somewhere out in the galaxy. And Ruka basically looks from far away. He's got a very long trench coat and hat on that cover up most of his appearance. But when you get close, you can see some like cockroach antenna sticking out. And he is traveling the galaxy because he just wants to make some friends. A lot of his family from his culture died. And he tends to enjoy getting a little too close to people and being a little too friendly, and they freak out because they realize he's a cockroach. So that's Ruka. That's the overview. He's got a
Been
big
there.
sword also, so that probably doesn't make people feel great.
Welcome back.
Hey, sorry, I
Welcome back.
froze. This is going great, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
so Ruka, that's as far as I got.
Oh no.
Okay.
Worth repeating. Worth repeating.
But your
Ruka-
camera's not lagging anymore.
That's good.
Man,
Yeah,
look at that. This
Yeah.
is why I make tabletop games.
From far away, Ruka has a like very long trench coat, very big oversized hat. So you can't really see any of his features, but when you get closer, you realize he's essentially he's a Kithuk, and he looks kind of like an oversized cockroach. And you can see the antennas sticking out and twitching around. He's got a big sword that he carries around with him, and he is traveling the galaxy just trying to make some friends. It seems like people are just put off by a giant cockroach with a big sword on his back, trying to like cuddle up and be friends with them.
Haters gonna hate.
There
we
he
just lose
goes.
James again.
He's gone.
I know.
Oh no!
We're done.
Oh, boy.
no, it's all
Oh, boy.
right.
Okay, everybody.
No.
Michael's the GM. Oh, it moved us
Go,
back.
Michael.
Wait.
Oh,
It's
hey. Michael, you love the game so much. It came back. Is it just me who keeps messing
Just
up?
you.
It's
Yeah.
just-
Fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're a
Ian,
podcast anyways,
tell us-
right?
Hey,
Tell us about your pretty woman Eno.
that's right. I think I'm leaning more towards Ocean's 8, but yes, she's they are. I using the naming nomenclature of the it's Sela Devi, and that E there indicates gender non-binary, and if any of you have been totally engrossed with She-Ra during quarantine, like I have.
Yeah.
The episode where Katra, who is a cat person, goes to like the princess prom, and she's like wearing this like kind of half-done tuxedo. That is how see the Davy is just dressed pretty much all the time. They are always either about to make some big score or they're on the run from some previous big score. And I'm going to say that on their right hand, they have 4 fingers. And every time anytime someone asks, they kind of get like a different story.
Nice.
Very, very sophisticated, very fine tastes. If there's a section aboard the Yurtle that is theirs, they've made it very comfortable, very luxurious.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you would each person probably, there are enough crew quarters here that everybody could have their own bunk to take care of. So yeah, you've got that going for you. Awesome. That's great. So we've got all of you here, and you have recently gone on a mission to the very edge of the burn. And now I shall pull up my map. So here we go. Here we have a map of the Olaxis galaxy. The burn actually surrounds the galaxy on all sides, including the top and bottom, but it doesn't make a very good map to do that. So that is why the map, we sort of see the edge here, as it were. Don't at me, nerds. So that's what we got going on here. And so you all have gone on a mission. Oh, can you see? You probably can't see the names of places, can you?
Nope.
Not right now. No.
Guess what?
Whoa.
Oh.
Space.
Oh
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, the
Okay,
ghost
yeah.
belt.
Yes. So
Spooky.
the Olaxis is divided into 3 regions. We've got the Ghost Belt, which is like the spooky region, all the way out there on the edge of the galaxy. There is the Mid Belt, which is this sort of inner region, right? That is not as dangerous because it's not as close to the burn, but it's also constantly getting abandoned by people who are moving towards the Heart Worlds, which are the like rich and well-to-do part of the of Olaxis, right? That is where everybody wants to be because it's where the burn is going to end up probably last, right? The Ghost Belt is a lot of people have abandoned it if they have the means to, which means that there's a lot of like pirates that are there. There are monsters that can like live in space that have been chased from other parts of the galaxy to here, and so there are all manner of different things here going through the belt, as it were. So you all were just on a mission. Going off toward the Ghost Belt, right? You were in the Ghost Belt towards the edge of the burn, and actually what was happening is you were getting a distress call from the Aranese system, which is that system down there, right?
That's the part of the map I'm most interested in.
Yeah, so it's very, very, very close to the burn, and essentially someone. A rather wealthy individual who was there was offering pickup, not for them, but they were sort of funding a mission of like, go there, bring back whoever you can, because that planet is probably the most effed right now. They're about to be cut off from everything. Can you please go get whoever you can and load them onto your ship? So it was a rather lucrative opportunity, and also one, hey, if you're looking to do good, right? There's something for everyone in why you would go out there to do this. While you are on your way to Aranese, right? You get another distress call, and so Yurtle pops up on your ship, right? So you are currently on your Wanderer ship. Yurtle, in sort of like a Yurtle pops up, and they have a nondescript. Well, I don't want to say nondescript. They have a face that doesn't look particularly like any species. It probably looks closest to like an Olrin face, right? And it pops up in front of each of you, sort of holographically, wherever you may be in the ship right now. Yes, Ian.
I have a request.
Yes.
Can Yertle's face look like a turtle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. So Yertle looks like it's this turtle face, right? That comes before you. And wherever you may be, what do you think is happening right now in the ship with each of you? Ket, where do you think you are, and what would you be doing on the ship?
I am probably just man, this is too close to real life. I'm probably my swarm is probably around the ship's HUD somewhere. Like that's where I am, and I am probably just tinkering, programming some stuff on the ship for like comfort of life stuff, like programming what temperatures people's rooms are and where they find it comfortable, like an AI system to figure out how we use the least amount of energy to make sure people feel comfortable. And I'm just the bugs. If the bugs could slam their head on the keyboard from making so many mistakes, that's what they'd be doing.
Excellent, excellent. And your bone is probably somewhere within reach, right?
Yeah, a swarm is always
nearby.
like kind of. I don't think the rest of the crew knows, but it's always a swarm's always kind of like making that seem obscure.
Oh, okay,
Secret,
cool. So it's within
secrets.
the. Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's within your swarm.
Yep.
What about Mondu? What is Mondu doing?
Oh, Mondu is probably just kind of in his bunk, wherever that is on the ship, with a little sketchbook open, and like there's like colored pencils and paints like just kind of all over his bed, not using a desk or anything, just and trying to paint, like really trying to like capture like a picture of the burn as we've kind of been close to the edge of the galaxy and trying to paint that like that orange and red, and it just looks like sludge on his paper, but he's really trying and kind of getting frustrated. Like there's wadded up balls of paper just on the ground everywhere, and that's what he's up to.
Excellent. Love it. I love it. Yes. So what is Absolute up to right now?
Absolute is in their room, with the door closed, and there is a big note on there that says, "Please knock. Am levitating." And inside, wait for it. Inside, they are on the floor in like a traditional like crisscross applesauce, hands on their knees, clearly meditating. But they are solidly on the floor.
Fabulous.
100% not anywhere off the floor, not even close.
That's great. That's great.
Levitating is more of a
about,
state of mind than anything physical, right?
That's right. That's right. What about Rucka? What are they doing?
Yeah, Raku is kind of off in one corner away from everybody else. He's collected a bunch of like pieces of string and trash from their traveling, and he's trying to put friendship bracelets together with all of this like stringy refuse that he's found. And he's got his sword between his like insectoid legs, and he's using that to kind of like cut the strings to the same length, and like weaving them together and kind of putting them in a pile by his side.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And of course, last but not least, what is our Eno up to? What are they doing right now?
They're going to be in their quarters, doors open, and they've got. I'm the level of magic in this world. Help me out, make sure I'm not overstepping here. But they've kind of got like a couple of writing implements, sort of like going at once. Even though they've got their computer tablet, they tend to like to write with just like in the old school way. And of course, they just had they just ran the ship's weekly game of Centurion, so they're already planning the next session.
Right.
And they're thinking that like maybe this will be the session where they finally realize where they finally get to meet this von Stradzorovich character that's been kind of like lurking in the background and wondering if like now it's going to be the game where they're going to push it to the front. So they're working on that.
Excellent. But you you know that when you play with them, they're actually just gonna like dick around probably for a long time. And,
you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to each of my fellow players here to tell me whether their characters are into the game or if they just show up. I imagine some of you have bought the books. Some of you are like always like, "Oh, can I borrow dice?" I mean,
I feel like Mondu's like super into it.
Oh, Mandu has
Just
like character art.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's terrible. It's like stick figures.
I have a dozen or so from my swarm, just making sure to watch what you're doing to make you feel like there's company happening, but they're not really paying attention.
So as you all are doing this, Yertle's face pops up, and Yertle says, "Excuse me, I just wanted to let you know that we're getting a second distress signal right now. It's coming from Favor Station. It's a station run by Ark that is just outside of the burn. So ARC is the Alliance of Rescue and Conservation, and they basically are like a organization that has cells spread throughout the galaxy that makes a point of studying the burn and saving and rescuing people and species so that they don't go extinct and that the burn does not take them. So that's sort of their whole thing. They're one of the largely considered good, although they are a little scattered right now because they keep losing leadership because they go on like risky missions. And they say, I'm not getting anything more than a distress beacon over and over again. No message is attached to it.
Are we able to like communicate to each other without being near each other in the ship?
So yes, and possibly in two ways. The first way would be that when you're on the ship, you have intercoms and can talk to each other that way.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use your communication badges like radios if you want to. Or your third option is if you have accepted a Ronin bug into your body, then you can all communicate telepathically with each other.
Hey.
Ruka definitely has, because he thinks that this is a sign of friendship, so he's all on top of accepting any bugs that anyone wants to put near him.
Cat might have made a mistake, but it's okay.
And it's like, yeah, we should definitely go help them, right? I mean, they seem like there's might be people in trouble. They could be new friends. They could help us in our next mission.
I suppose we could go help someone. Who here flies our ship?
I'm the ship by itself.
Yes, so that is correct. Most of the time, the ship can fly itself. When you get into situations that require finer control, like combat or something like that, someone can take control of the ship. But for the most part, yeah, you can ask Yertle where to go and what to do, and
guess
that's how that'll work.
I guess I'll be flying the ship while we're in like a non-combat scenario, because I feel like my character can probably efficiently work in tandem with Yertle in a way. And so I'll do the busy work flying because I'm up there already, like just doing stuff remotely with my swarm and like computer programming and stuff.
Adelaide, what's your character's name again?
Absolute.
Absolute. So Mondu will kind of get up and walk over to Absolute's door, and ignore the knock sign and like kind of punch the door open. Say, Absolute, did you see that we have a thing probably to do? Maybe.
What is the meaning of distress anyway? From the Kithuk word distringer, to stretch apart.
I forgot that I don't understand how to talk to you. I'm gonna go talk to Kat. And he just turns around and walks away.
That is amazing.
Telling it.
I love making characters. Okay.
Yes, I loved everything about that. Okay, yeah. So you want to turn around and find Ket?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey,
Go ahead.
should we head that way?
Yes, I don't know if we should head that way. I'm busy making sure all your rooms are comfortable.
Too much over there.
Oh no, it's perfect.
Okay.
It's really up here right now.
That's gonna be. I will say that's gonna be a joy to edit.
I'll back up. What do I need to do? to
Just a
not
little
make
space.
sure
Just a
that-
little space.
Just as close as
Oh
possible.
God.
Okay. I'll back up. I'll back up. I'm so
You could add
sorry.
more
The voice was-
Max.
Welcome to Faeforge Academy, James Introcaso.
Yeah. Would you like me to make a lot of mouth sounds, Steven? Like,
Yeah.
would that help with your editing?
If you
Yeah.
guys could also just like every once in a while, if everybody could just like tap on the mic, preferably while you're talking. Yeah,
We're a professional podcast.
absolutely. I love it.
Professionally trolling Steven. That's the word that sometimes gets left out.
We're very good at it. I mean,
Anyways, what are we gonna do about this?
Well, we were supposed to get money from this mission that we were going to. However, it is a distress call. And sure, we can check it out if you'd like.
What do we know about ARC? Are they? I mean, we know that they are very conservation minded and that they are constantly changing leadership. Are they like well financed, or are they kind of shoestring?
So it depends kind of on the cell, right? You could make if you want, someone can make a skill roll to see what you know specifically about Favor Station. And so the way skill rolls work is you would tell me which skill you want to use. And then what I'll do is I'll set a complexity, right? And when you make a skill roll, you roll a number of dice equal to the complexity, and the dice that you roll are the whatever that skill is. So if you have a D8 in a skill and the complexity is 3, you roll 3d8. And then if there are any matches in the dice, you fail. Otherwise, you succeed. So that's kind of how skill rolls
okay.
work.
So you can't have
Yeah,
a skill
so
complexity higher than 4, then, is that right?
You can. So most of the time, skill rolls only go up to 4, but there are some where it's like, you're going to need some training to have any chance. The highest they'll go, though, is 7, because there's like an exponential increase in the difficulty, as opposed to like D&D, where +1 is just another 5% harder, right? This is like, it goes up to n-1 to the power. It's a crazy dumb equation that nobody wants to hear.
James, I want to hear it. I absolutely want to hear it.
I will share the equation with you later if you would.
Please send me your dumb equations. Okay, so because Sila Devi is specifically thinking to themselves, are we going to actually make money off of this job, or is this going to be a pro bono gig? And wants to like, and is this cell that's going to be operating in this part of the space, this part of the is there a cool word for space I can use here? At this edge of the burn. There we go. Yeah. At this edge of the burn, if they're actually going to be like reasonable to work with, or if they're going to be a hot mess. So I'd like to make a streetwise roll for this.
Why is money and ease your greatest priorities in life?
Do you have the worm in your head? Did you get the worm?
Yes, I do. I have feet. I have the bits of the bug, whatever it's called.
That's awesome.
I've learned that whenever we're close to each other, show the white noise machine before I have this.
So yeah, so go ahead and you can make a skill roll. So this is going to be streetwise, right?
Yep.
Oh, you already
Mhm.
made it. Great. So
Oh,
you can see
that was me.
in
That was me practicing earlier. Is that a complexity too?
yeah, we'll make this a complexity 2, so we'll use
Okay.
this roll that you've already got. So you rolled a 7 and a 9. You have a D12 in Streetwise. So when you make a skill roll, you should also check off the box on your sheet for Nova Point usage, right? Or it's not a box now; it's a picture of a die. Sorry, I'm used to like a beta sheet. See where it says dice used on your sheet?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can click the 12 to indicate that you've used the 12. When you use a skill of every single die size to make a skill check, pass or fail with that skill, you gain a Nova point, and then everything resets.
Which is why you want to
So
use
that's how you
D4s.
gain.
Get 5 for a Nova point. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
yay. Thank you.
super cool mechanic.
Can you explain that one more
Yeah.
time? I quite didn't get it. I'm sorry. Or understand.
No, that's totally fine. So when you use, when you make a skill roll,
Mhm.
see where it says dice used on your
Yep.
character sheet. What you want to do is select the die you've used, and it should turn a different color. Right now, it's like
Orange.
orange, right? When you click it, it turns white, right? Is that what happens?
Mhm.
Yeah. And so when that happens, then once all your dice used are white, you gain a Nova point, and then you change them back to orange.
Oh, cool.
So essentially, what you want to do is use one die every time. Use like a different die every time, if you can, to earn Nova points. That's like the optimal way.
Awesome.
If you were
Pretty cool.
going to
Encourages you to use the stuff that you're not so good at.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Exactly. Especially because if you can justify any skill, why wouldn't you use the stuff you're always good at, right? So this is a reason to not do that.
Cool.
Makes sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very clever.
Yeah. So you have passed. As you can see, when you make a skill roll in Roll20, it automatically tells you whether you passed or failed and what you rolled. You rolled a 7 and a 9. You passed. So actually this particular team within ARC is very, very wealthy. The reason this place is called Favor Station is that it was acquired when ARC saved a bunch of Eno. The Eno gave it to ARC as a favor. And the space station actually matches speed with the Burn's advancement so that it can constantly stay in front of, but close enough to the Burn so it can keep track of it and monitor it and, study the Burn, basically. So it's a science research station that is well-to-do and is considered state-of-the-art.
I absolutely telepathically communicate this to Ket, and I say, "Oh, it's a novel research. It's a novel research station that has high tech advancements. We should go there and help."
Also, to preface this, just for the chat and our party, my bugs that have attached themselves to you for the communications. They have built some sort of bond with you so that you don't, if you're thinking a thought, it's not going to project it to everyone if you want to be in your own mind. So they have established their own relationship with you so that it's not that anybody, including myself, is grabbing your thoughts. It's a what do you call that? A symbiosis of consensual. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've named mine Philip.
Cool. Yeah. That bug totally accepts it. Yep. All right. So Ket will respond.
Sounds like they have a lot of research. That is something that we are interested in. And we'll be helping at the same time.
So, yep.
Can I make a knowledge roll as far as like getting these distress signals with no message attached? Is there anything I can get from something like that? Like whether it's suspicious or if there's anything even in like the pattern that it was sent that would make me think that like maybe it was not real or something like that?
This would also be a complexity 2 check.
Okay.
I will.
So when you click knowledge on your sheet, it should ask you probably what complexity do you want this to be. Yeah.
Can I also see with the message, because I also got it. Oh, go ahead, Steven. If you have a happy roll, go ahead.
Passed. Crushed it.
Gotcha. So you've passed, but go ahead if you want to do something too, Michael. You totally can.
Yeah. Since it was a message sent to us, I want to see if I can see like an IP address, or I don't know what they call it, a SpaceNet address. Whoever sent it, like at what time, kind of like more info through the signal that's sent, because normally there's like a receive and sent and timestamp and all these things.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
I'll roll.
That is also gonna. This will be for this one a complexity 3.
Okay.
For looking at the breaking into.
So I'll roll my computers.
Okay.
Complexity 3. Okay, so I select that and then I roll, right?
That's right. Perfect. So both of you have passed. And so you know, Mandu, that yes, especially at the edge of the galaxy here, it's very common for pirates to send distress signals with no message on them, right? To say like, "Come help us! Our communications are down. Haha, we got you." So
Classic.
you know how pirates are.
Pirates gonna pirate.
However, Kat, you are able to dig deeper into this, and you find that there, within the message, there's like another message that you're able to decrypt and encode, and it's a video message that you can see there is in a Kithuk, who is like, looks like they're in shadow and is whispering to some sort of handheld device that they are recording themselves on. And they say, "I am a scientist here in Favor Station. We have been boarded by pirates who something has happened. Our station is no longer moving. If you do not come help us soon, we'll be overtaken by the burn. Please, we need your help. They're looking for something, and I don't understand what they want. Otherwise, I would give it to them so they would get off. But they have taken everyone else hostage here. I need your help." And I think that will be a good place for us to pause here.
Awesome.
And we'll find out what happens next episode.
Yeah.
Of the Faeforge Burn Bryte Academy.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Cool. So everyone in chat, we're going to take 5 minutes. So we'll be back here at, what is that, 27-ish. I, like the professional streamer I am, I forgot to get a be right back soon. So we're going to go back to our starting soon screen, which will be true because we will be starting again soon.
Yeah.
So
It's not
hang
false.
out. I'm going to, if you want to know more about Burn Bryte, they have a Discord. James has some really cool stuff on his website kind of about the building of that. So you can follow those links in chat, and we will see y'all in 5. And we should be back. Yep, everything's good. Welcome back to the Faeforge Academy Burn Bryte. Ooh, glad I can edit that out. Welcome. Now I don't know what I'm going to say. Too much pressure. Hey, welcome to the Faeforge Academy. Today we are doing part 2 of our Burn Bryte intro one shot with the wonderful James. Good Lord.
It's halfway through
Just
the
say all the
session.
words.
Yeah.
It's just say all the words. We'll answer together later.
Yeah. For those of you in chat that do listen to our podcast, there's a reason that it sounds clean, and it's because I cut out most of the words that I say. So, regardless, welcome, James, to our cast, and thanks for running us through this. We should probably do who's here today. So, today we got Ian.
Hi everyone, my name is Ian Gould. You can.
It's contagious.
What's your name again?
Hi everyone, my
name?
name is My name is Ian Gould. You can follow me on Twitter at ENGGould, and I am a writer for DM's Guild and Adventurers League, and I am extremely excited to be here today.
We also have Emily.
What's up? I'm Emily Harmon, Emily JEA Harmon everywhere. I also write for DM's Guild, Adventurers League, organize conventions, do all that kind of stuff.
Michael.
Hello, I am Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere. I stream on Twitch, MTG, and I am on a whole bunch of other D&D streams and podcasts. Just check it out on Twitter.
And Adelaide.
I'm James Introcaso. I'm Adelaide
Amazing.
Gardner. Adelaide on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at various different shows and podcasts, including this one.
And we are super, super excited to have James back, which we've only been gone for 5 minutes in real time, but here with us as we finish up this one shot of Burn Bryte. So James, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do? Maybe give one more plug for Burn Bryte, and then the table's yours.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much. So I am really excited to be here. I'm James Introcaso at James Introcaso on Twitter, jamesintrocaso.com, and worldbuilderblog.com for checking me out and the things that I do at various places. I am one of the lead designers of this role-playing game we're playing right now called Burn Bryte. Bryte is spelled Bryte, and at burnbryte.com you can learn more. You should also listen to the first episode where we made characters and played a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. So we are going to dive right in. I realized that I committed a GM faux pas before in our last game, which is I didn't tell you about safety tools, which we do have built in for Burn Bryte. What we have actually here is a card deck. And so the way the safety card works is, right, it's basically like the flower. If people are familiar with that concept, that safety tool at the table. Every safety deck has 3 different cards in it. A keep going card, which is green, and says keep going on it. A slow down card, which is yellow and says slow down, and a red stop card that says stop on it and is red. And so these cards can be played at the table without basically anonymously, right? You can play them from your hand and you can drop them right onto the table without anybody knowing who played the card or what it was. And so it is a helpful way to, if we see a stop card, right, we immediately stop the scene. And we will very likely, say like, okay, cool, we're moving on, right? It works exactly like the X card does, if people are familiar with that safety tool. The slow down card lets people know, like, hey, just so everybody knows, like, this level of content, level of description and everything right now is fine, but please do not go further, and let's move on as quickly as possible. And green means, hey, you know what? We're getting into territory that might be dicey for some people, but for me, this is good. Please keep going. And so that is essentially the way that the safety cards work. And that is those are the tools that we will be using, and they come standard with every game of Burn Bryte. So that's how that works. Just so we all sort of know what we're getting into. Now, last time you all were on your ship Yertle, and you were headed to go save some people at the edge of the burn when you got a distress call from Favor Station, right? And so at Favor Station, you had decoded right outside of it this call that came from a Kithuk that said the station had been attacked by pirates who were looking for something specific, and that they had taken a bunch of hostages, and this Kithuk was the only person who was free. Please come and help. And so that is where we had left things off. And I think the question now is, did you all want to travel to Favor Station, or did you want to do something else?
I think we're trying. I think
yeah,
we're trying
I
to
think we should help that fellow. Pirates.
Yeah, that's what I said all along. Yeah. Glad everyone agreed. Okay, we should go. We should go ahead now.
So Yertle appears and says, okay, let's do this. All right, I'm firing up the engines. All right, Ket, you're in control. And kind of gives Ket control of the ship. So Ket, you can, there is an airlock. If you wanted to come up and bring your ship Yertle right to the airlock, you could. But I'm also open to other things if you want to try something else.
Seeing as like I don't do anything fancy as far as piloting goes, I'm just going to do that. But like I said, efficiently use MI's resources, work in tandem with MI to get us, or Yertle to get us to park into the airlock.
Yep. And that is something that doesn't even require a skill roll as you're working with Yertle, right? This is sort of like a routine maneuver that you do all the time, docking with other stations and stuff like that. So you are able to dock with the ship, and your airlocks are matched up now, and so you would be able to enter the Inferno. The Inferno's airlock door is actually unlocked. Looks like maybe there was a secure lock on it and it's been broken.
Oh wow.
As we were coming up, could we see anything about like the exterior of the station, or any like debris floating nearby that might give us more information about the situation?
Yeah, good question. So as you come up, one thing that is obvious is there isn't another ship parked at the Inferno, right? Pirates to you would suggest that like they had to get there somewhere, right? But you don't see a ship. If you want to like look for debris, tell me what skill you would like to use. You could scan for it. You could look out windows. You know, it's up to you.
Going to excitedly look out windows and try to perceive.
Great. That is going to be a complexity 3.
Okay. Complexity 3.
Yeah.
Pass.
A 2, 5, and a 9.
Okay. Yeah, that is a success. So the 259 is going to get you that you can see. It looks like maybe there's not like a huge debris field out there, but there are pieces of ship that you can just make out kind of floating out there. So at one point there was a ship here, and it has since been taken down.
Whoa.
You said that there was some sort of damage on one of the, you said airlocks, or at least one of the hatches.
Yes. Yeah.
I am going to, if I can use my engineering ability to see how, in what manner was it broken, maybe get some more information of like these people who have basically broken and entered into this station.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna, as I do that, I'm actually gonna collect my whole hive because I was on the ship, so I'm going to collect all my hive to form a humanoid kind of shape. Okay, and so yeah, engineering. Do you know which complexity do you want me to use for this?
So let's use complexity 3 for this one.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah. So you have passed, and so with a 1, a 2, and a 6, that is a big old pass for you. Cool. Which means that you can see, right, when you're checking out the door, that yes, this was broken. It was broken recently, and when you're doing a pass, you can sort of see you can see like the computer equipment that was used is registered to a Dropo Solabralta.
Okay.
I love that dude.
I will send a link out to everyone, a telepathic link of that name.
Do any of us recognize it? Or can we do a Google search? A space Google search?
A space Google search. Yes. So you can make a skill roll to see what you know about Dropo Solabralta. And don't forget to check off your Nova points as you're using skills here.
I'm gonna try space Google with computers.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's computers.
Computers. What complexity?
2.
Okay.
It is space Google.
Space Google has succeeded.
Excellent. So, with computers, you are able to find, it's not readily available information, right? You kind of have to do some deep digging. And when you go a little deeper, you learn that Dropo Solabralta is the pirate captain of the Solabralta crew. He is an Olrin, and his pirates specifically go around and try to like steal menageries of exotic creatures.
That's cool.
So they're like pirates that have a private zoo, kind of.
I'll telepathically tell the party about it. About what I found.
Cool.
Sorry.
So the party, now you know about Dropo.
Okay.
Everything got blanked out of the stream, so I am getting everything back up. So
Sounds
don't
good.
wait for me to do anything.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I will tell the crew.
We should be cautious of entering and finding the people who sent out the SOS.
Indeed, the Dropo crew are here. They tend to be a tough bunch. Do we know if they tend to use this exotic menagerie like as pets, or if it's specifically for the buying and trading?
So a lot of it is for the buying and trading, but he does have a reputation for loving, like, showing off his pets, basically. So he does often keep some as personal pets as well.
All right. I'm going to stealthily enter the ship, like the rest of the.
Okay.
Yeah, do we need to like dock or something, or have we already?
I think we
docked with
docked
this
and
thing?
we're
Yeah,
inspecting airlock, and then.
Okay. I thought we were like circling around the thing. Okay.
I think we were like
So you've docked.
flashbacking. Yeah.
Mm.
And you have inspected the airlock. And as you open the airlock, I'm going to bring you to a new page on Roll20 here.
Ooh.
Can everyone see? Sort of.
Yes. Top
Oh, yeah.
left.
Okay. Yeah. So top left, if you're looking for where you are. So you can see you enter this room. Looks almost like a cargo hold, right? There are boxes everywhere. It's not big enough to be a cargo hold, but it looks like, like you'd store some things here, like a loading dock. And then when a ship came, you could load stuff up on it and go from there. So you can see there are all these big crates in this room. And there's like a soft kind of white glow coming from lights that are on in this area.
Are there any like obvious signs of distress, like any blood smeared on the walls or anything like that?
Right. How
so
recently
in
has
this
it been
area-
occupied?
Yeah. So it doesn't look like there's much in this, like in the sense of like bodies on the ground or laser fire on the walls or anything like that.
Okay.
In this area specifically, right? You can see in front of you there is a door, and this is kind of a smaller area of the ship.
This blue object over yonder, is this a point of interest?
Yeah, so what that is that's actually a charging station. So for all of your various electronics and stuff, you can throw them on top of that thing, and then they get charged up. So that's what that is. Yeah, very convenient.
I like to
Very
know about
convenient for our exit.
Mm-hmm. So you want to go this way?
Is this a door? I assume.
Yeah, I
It
think.
is. Yeah.
The north is where we came in.
that.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you came through the north, so here to the south there is a door. And there's like it's a big door that comes down kind of like a garage door, and you could open it up with a push of a button if you'd like.
All right. Ruga will plant himself in front of the door in a very like defensive kind of stance and look for someone else to push the button.
I'll reach out one tentacly eyeball and push the button. Just a little bit of slime left there.
So as you push the button, the door opens up, and there we go. And you can see now this hall does have some laser scorch marks on the sides of it, and you can see that there are doors coming down. It's kind of eerie that in this way that like the lights are flickering here. Some of the laser fire has damaged some of the lighting, and so it's sort of flickering on and off in this hall. But you can see that there are 6 doors off to the side, 3 on either side of the wall, like to the east and west, and then one more large garage door all the way to the south at the end of the hall.
All right. With the flickering on and off lights, Sildavi has dark, can see in the dark. And so it's going to be specifically looking down the hallway, trying to make sure that nothing sneaks up on their comrades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make a roll for that.
All right, I'm going to be peering down the hallway. I'll use perception for that.
Okay, cool.
All right, complexity.
And this is going to be complexity 2 because you do have the dark vision. So.
All right.
The dark.
Wonderful.
1 and 4 means that you pass, and so you are watching the hall, and you see this being. It looks like an Eno, but they're like made of iridescent light, right? Like all this shifting sort of rainbow-colored light. Walk down the hall, kind of very quickly, within the blinking, and then move through the door, the closest door on your left. You can see, and they move through it without the door opening. They phase through the door as they.
Have we ever seen anything like this before?
Good question.
Like, is this
I
common
don't
to
think
the Eno?
No. So this is not a common thing that any of you would have seen. Someone could make a check to see what they know. If they know anything, it will be a complexity 4 check.
Is that a knowledge? Yeah, probably.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll roll. The complexity 4. Oh no, our first fail.
Yes.
So this is a failure. You rolled a 1 and another 1, so that means you failed. Right? We've got doubles here. So within Burn Bryte, right? There's a couple different things you can do when you fail. One is like maybe there's an obvious answer. You fail to jump over a pit, you probably fall down the pit. But sometimes the GM needs a little help, and so they can roll on a failure prompts table, which is a D100 table. So let's see.
Uh-oh.
And so we get these sort of non-specific statements. So you break an ally's stuff is what happens. So it looks like Ruka is closest to you.
The friendship bracelet.
Adelaide, you tell me.
Oh,
Oh no.
no.
So Adelaide, what do you think Absolute? While they're trying to think of like what this being is that they have seen, in what way might you break Ruka's stuff? Now Ruka, her like stuff could be equipment. Stuff could also be like you do something that would make Ruka very mad and break Ruka's temper. Right? He gets mad at you. That kind of. So break is a term that we use a lot because it can mean a lot of different things.
Break their trust.
You know, I am going absolute comments on how maybe we didn't all see the same thing, and then gives you an incredibly mind-blowing esoteric question such as, is there any way to see things objectively at all?
Yes.
I don't even know.
You should think on that one for a while.
Ruka.
So-
yes.
Breaking Ruka's sense of self.
Ruka feels very sad, and when Ruka feels sad, he pulls out his big light sword so he can bathe in the light and feel some sort of comfort in this creepy, flickering, dark hallway where he's lost his sense of self, and just looks into the light for a minute.
That's excellent. So Ruka, we are going to give you a condition. So on your sheet, you can see you've got these conditions here, right? You've got big and little hearts, some that have plus signs and some that have minus signs in them. Click the smallest heart with the minus sign in it. And now you see all of your skills get that same symbol next to them. And so we're going to say that for the time being, click the minus next to knowledge. So when you make a knowledge skill, what this means is, and Roll20 will do this automatically for you, as long as this is active, you will make it at a complexity of +1, right? So if you have to make a knowledge skill roll at a complexity of 2, you'll make it at 3. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
And so you can give yourself at the bottom, you can name your conditions if you want to track them. It sounds like this condition is like you've become very sad. So your condition might be like sadness in this case, or that kind of thing. So yeah. So yeah. So
Existential
Ruka,
crisis.
you are sad. Exactly. Yeah. That would be a great condition to have. We're all having that condition these days. So yeah.
Back to the space game.
So as we
It's
see,
too real, James. It's too real.
as we see this like rainbow glowing Eno walk through the door, you see Mondu take out. He's got a camera, and he just runs to the door like entranced by whatever this thing is, and just pushes the door open, camera ready, to capture this image of whatever this strange creature was.
This is Silent Hill.
Sila Davi refers to this as Mandu finds the traps. Go, Mandu, go!
So Mandu, you run down here, and you open the door, and as you do, you see this sort of that seems like they're made of like flowing light and sort of iridescent liquid almost, and they're in a chef's outfit. And they are like standing at this is a kitchen, right? You've opened the door, you're looking at a kitchen, there's a stove in here, and they're standing at a stove. They're like going through the motions of cooking, but they're not actually interacting with any objects or anything like that. They're just cooking some stuff up. And like you see them like go, and it looks like they're moving their hand like they're chopping with a knife, and then it seems like they are gathering up whatever they cut in their hands, and they're like putting it in a pan in the stove, but there's no pan there, and there's no food coming out, and then they're like shaking up the pan.
Do they like even respond to the door opening or anything like that?
They do not seem to respond to the door opening, or do you at all when filming?
Huh. I'll look back at the group and say, they're trying to cook something. Probably for us, I would assume.
I mean, how do we even know if they're cooking for us? What's the point?
I'll turn back and, friend, are you preparing a meal for us as sort of a welcome sort of thing?
When you address this being directly, they turn and they look at you, and they give a little bit of like a cry, this like, but much louder than that sound. I don't want to blow out everybody's eardrums right now. Right? They give that cry, and they start to like come toward you with their arms outstretched.
All right, I'm gonna intercede here. I see this Eno approaching. What house does this Eno appear to be from? Even though they are multicolored and multi-hued, I still have a sense of hierarchy.
They appear to be of the Nove house. N-O-V.
Nove house. All right, I'm going to use my. I have my comm badge and then my disguise badge. Like I'm like right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just like tap my disguise badge, intercede myself between this glowing iridescent Eno shape and Mondu, and I'm going to use a presence roll to like get them to like back to your task, like know your place.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this will be a complexity 3 presence roll.
Okay. Okay. With this, I have a special ability called Natural Liar to reduce the complexity roll of skill rolls made to verbally trick or deceive others by 1. Would that come into play here?
Yes, I think so. So, what did you disguise yourself to look like?
Like a high-ranking member of their house.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is definitely
just an attire. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna take a presence complexity 3 roll down to a presence complexity 2. Does that sound right? Am I following so far?
That does sound correct. Yes.
All right. Boom.
Okay.
Nice.
So they look at you and they blink. You can see they've got all the features, right, of an Eno, and they blink and they say like. They sort of drop the scary facade and they look terrified now, and they say they need your help. They need your help. And they start they move by you, and as they do, you can feel like you all feel this tingle. Your various hairs, if you have them, stand on end as this creature moves by and starts moving down the hallway and is calling out, "They need your help! They need your help!"
Before they get too far, I would like to make an empathy roll, and try to connect to that fear emotion and say, "No, I know. That's why we're here. How can we help? Who needs our help?
Okay,
we want to help."
Make the so that's empathy. That's also going to be a 3.
What is advantage?
So advantages are used in combat. And they essentially, you
Gotcha.
gain them, right? Your livability rating, you pool them. They're a group resource, and then you can use them to change out one of the numbers in your die rolls
Gotcha.
when you fail.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 4, and a 2. So I passed.
Okay. So yeah, they'll stop in their tracks and say, they're drowning us in plasma. They're drowning us in plasma because we won't give them what they want, and I don't know what they want.
I'm gonna look back at the rest of the group and be like, that seems pretty bad.
Perhaps they should grow
so
gills to
plasma-
breathe the plasma. Then they would not be drowning.
Absolute. I don't know if that's entirely helpful at this
What does it
exact
mean?
moment.
Mandu, you are
I
now
love it.
also sad.
So plasma, it's sort of universally known as like a magical fuel that is used to fuel a lot of different rituals and vehicles and things like that. And so it could be that, referring to that liquid. And now that she says that, it also occurs to you that she looks like she is made of plasma. Plasma has this sort of iridescent quality to it. And it's almost like she's made of plasma, living plasma, and moving around.
Huh.
And just so it's clear, plasma is also an energy source.
It is, yes. Yeah, it's like gasoline, kind of.
All right, so we're basically gonna restructure our adventure now to be Ghostbusters, right?
Yes.
On the same page here. I was just thinking it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you are going to be, well, they're drowning you in plasma. Well, show us. Don't tell us. Show us.
And she says, "Okay, follow me. That's what I was trying to get you to do." Looks like she's giving you some attitude now.
I was confused because you first started with just screaming at us, which wasn't the best communication style, but I suppose it's sure we'll follow.
And she starts making her way down this way to the door, and then she immediately disappears through this door to the south.
The one that's right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep.
All the way
Yep,
to the
yep.
bottom. Okay. Are we going through
However,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, when you get to there, you see momentarily kind of popping through the door that is all the way down here. It's just before this big door to the south. There's another side room coming out. You see this little creature that you all know is what's called a blip. Makes an appearance here. I'm going to share a picture with you all just so you can sort of
It's
get the
so
whole...
cute. Oh my god.
I adopt it. I adopt
Yeah.
it.
We adopt it. It's part
I
of
take
the
out my Pokeball and I just grab that one.
Yeah. It sort of
Okay,
looks like a
so-
fennec. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So we just take it back to the ship and we leave now, right? That's
That's
our new plan.
We saved them.
So, yeah,
Go team.
creature kind of looks like a fennec fox, and it's got 3 different tails on it, and it's this like a baby blue kind of color with a white chest, and it comes out, and it's small. You know, it's about the size of a smaller dog, maybe 20 pounds, and it runs out again without the door actually opening. But this, you know, you've seen blips before. They are these canine creatures that can phase through objects, right? So this is actually a thing, a biological thing, you know, that this creature can do. And it kind of runs forward when it hears you all coming out. And Ruka, it runs right up to you and starts like sniffing and licking your leg.
Friend status achieved.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruka, even through like the sadness, Ruka's little cockroach eyes light up, and he leans down towards the creature and pulls out like a frayed friendship bracelet and starts shaking it around like a toy to try to like entertain it and pet
Okay.
the little guy.
Yeah, and this thing seems to really like that, and it's like, woof! And it is going up and like going after the friendship bracelet and nipping at it a little bit. Yeah.
This is the best thing to happen today. Ruka will like try to pick the doggo up, the blip up, and continue forward, I guess.
Yes, yeah. So you've got this blip, and you know that blips are highly desirable because while you're holding a blip, you too can phase through objects.
That's nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
I was going to say, when the creature, the one before the blip, said that people are drowning in plasma, I want to see if I can make some sort of presence check with the secret artifact I have inside of me, because I know that someone's drowning in plasma, and I don't know if there's going to be any sort of like way I can engage with this secret artifact in a way.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So this, and complexity is...
So you just found this artifact, right? I'm going to say the complexity is 4?
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's do this.
I'll do what I do best, which is failing.
Yep.
All right.
Hey! 2 1s. Hey, you have your brand at least.
I do.
So let's roll. Let's roll on this failure prompts table.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Fire. A fire starts. Okay, I love this. So I think what happens is the bone starts to like glow red hot as you move closer and closer to the door. It's getting hotter and hotter. You know probably a little bit from when you've been using it that like when it's close to plasma, it warms up a little bit, but it has never been this hot before. You can either drop the bone, or if you want to keep holding on to it, you can, but you'll take a health level of damage.
Let's do the damage so we know how damage rolls, and then it'll activate my other ability just to make everyone do poorly.
So you'll take 1 health level of damage, so that'll reduce your health levels 1.
2, right? So now it's 2 out of 3. And then
2
my
out of
ability, Bodies of My Comrades, because I am a Ronin. When I take damage, you make the square you occupy and all adjacent squares slippery for 10 minutes. The squares are difficult terrain for all creatures who are not Ronins.
So you all see these Ronins start to die, like just shedding out of the colony, surrounding the floor, and it becomes very slippery for those of you who are standing near Ket.
That does not look very healthy.
Ket, the bathroom, Ket. We talked about this.
No, sorry. This is my what is this? I got it. So it's the smart slab. It's acting up again. I have to really get it fixed.
And I'm just talking about like the personal computer that I have, and it's like, it's the Samsung incident from way back when. I don't know if I want to talk about it, but that's what happened. And I'm trying to deceive you folks that what happened, and not that I have some sort of ancient bone on me.
You should probably get that checked out, because my smart slab has never made me leak myself onto the floor.
I'll fix it. Once we're back on the ship, it's happened before and I fixed it.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. Well, shall we?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get away from this slippery bit.
So yeah, you can all move away from the slippery bits. Ruka, you're standing again in front of the door.
Yes. Ruka will move up to the door and see, or prepare for someone else to open it if there's a button.
Before we go through, I'd like to put whatever a Ulran's version of an ear is up to the door and just listen through and percept if anything's happening that we can hear. Or
Go ahead. Yeah. So these are some pretty thick metal doors. But you do have Ulran have like holes basically in the side of their head that act as ears. So go ahead and it's only a complexity 2.
Okay. Let's see if the
Despite
D4s
the
can do
thickness
it.
of the door.
Yes. With a 4 and a 2.
Excellent. So yes, you are able to keep things like listen in, and when you do, you hear a tremendous thrashing on the other side of the door. It sounds like someone is banging something when you listen. You have to put your ear pretty close to the door because, again, it's like thick, and so the doors are meant to block sound and stuff. But it definitely sounds like someone is banging something hard over there.
Someone's banging something hard over there. Quick, we should go.
Okay.
Do these doors, you said they're like these really thick doors, can we just open them, or are they kind of like locked or sealed or something like that?
You can open them. So they are sometimes they're sealed, but I'll let you know if they're locked.
Okay.
In this case, this door is locked. It's just closed.
Okay.
All right, Seal Davi's going to press the button.
Okay. So when you press the button, what you see when you open up are these is this enormous, large pink, sort of simian creature, right? It looks like a large ape, but it's got like a lion's mane around its neck, and it has a kithuk, the kithuk from the message that you saw earlier, in its giant hand, and it is slamming this kithuk repeatedly against the side of the ship, and the kithuk is spurting this goo, its internal blood and everything, and it throws the kithuk to the side as it turns and looks at you and lets loose this very primal sort of roar. As it does that, another one of these giant simians exits from a chamber, and you can see they are both down here looking at you. So now we're in initiative.
Can I use Avenge the Fallen when they go down?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I love that.
So...
What does that do? I mean, I know I made this game.
It says,
For those listening along at home, what does it do?
Right, yeah.
When an ally I can see is reduced to 0 health levels by an enemy attack, and you're within movement speed of the enemy who made the attack, you may immediately move to an adjacent square to that enemy and make a complexity 3 attack skill roll against them.
Okay, yes, let's do it. So yeah, and then we'll get into initiative.
Surprise round.
All right, so I'm gonna run up. So it's a melee attack?
Yes, it is a melee attack.
Okay.
All right. That is a big hit with a 7, a 12, and an 11. So what weapon are you using?
I have a lightsaber or a light sword.
Yes. So the way a light sword works is weapons sometimes modify damage, but a lot of times what they do is they have these special qualities. So a light sword has the laser sword has the piercing quality, which means that if a enemy has like a shield generator, you ignore the shield health levels and go right for their fleshy bits.
Nice.
So this particular creature does not have any shield health levels, but you do hit and connect, dealing damage to it.
Nice.
So yeah, so you deal a health level of damage with that attack, and now we are in initiative. So the way initiative works is the enemies declare their actions, right? It's sort of a very cinematic thing, and it may take a minute for you to wrap your mind around it. So the enemies declare their actions, but they don't actually go, right? It's one of those, like, you can see what's going to happen kind of things. You all get to act, and then the enemy actions resolve if you didn't prevent them from happening. On your turn, you can take as many actions as you want until either you fail a skill roll or you choose not to take an action. Remember, if you fail a skill roll, you don't just fail, you make things worse. On your turn, your first action is at a complexity 2, and then your next action is at a complexity 3 and a complexity 4, and so on, increasing your risk of failure, basically. So those are kind of the basics here, and we'll go over that again because I'm sure there will be questions to be had. So right now, there are these large simians. They both look like they are going to try to attack Ruka. So they're declaring their actions to attack Ruka. And Ruka, I am going to put a special marker on you in Roll20 to indicate that you are being attacked twice. So I have done that. So now it is time for player actions, right? PC actions, and you can act in any order you choose.
Can I make a knowledge check to see if these creatures have any weaknesses or anything that distracted them or anything that they're like oddly afraid of, like a mouse from a 1940s Disney cartoon for an elephant, something like that?
Yeah, absolutely, and that'll be one of your actions on your turn if when you take your to do that. So if you want to go first, and feel free to strategize as far as your actions go, like, hey, I've got a thing, I want to go first, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking I want to make a knowledge check first. That way we can use information against the enemies on their turn to stop them from attacking Ruka.
Okay, sure.
Steven?
A couple of mechanics questions. One, if we have a special ability that says make a skill roll, do we get to choose what that skill roll is that works with it, like other things? Okay. And then
yeah, exactly. As long as you can justify it.
You may have mentioned this, but I might have missed it. Advantages. How do we get them?
So you can use your action to create advantages by doing things like pulling down a bookshelf if there were something in the room, or basically things that like you do in combat that should help the group, right? If you can come up with an action to do that. So for instance, a knowledge check, if this knowledge check succeeds and that knowledge is shared with everybody, that would give you all an advantage that would be generated. And go to your
That's what I was hoping for.
Max number of advantages you can have in your pool is 2 because that is your livability, right?
Okay.
So when you get them,
so I can be a big distraction and I can heal myself pretty easily if we have advantages. So I was thinking, while Ian, what's your character's name again?
Seal Davi.
While Seal Davi is like trying to figure stuff out, I can just run up and I can make myself glow and make things take damage for touching me because I have inner light or inner glow. And so I can distract them.
There you go.
Well, so wait, no, we know that they're going to attack Ruka. Like that. Am I understanding this correct, James? Like we know they're going to attack Ruka unless we can find a way to like compel them to attack you, to attack Mondu. Is that am I following correctly?
That is correct. Yes. So you would need to have a way for them to attack, for a reason to switch their attack to Mon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can make that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. What about do y'all want me to go first, or do y'all have other ideas that you want to do, or?
Go for it, Steven.
You go first. Yeah.
So I want to run up in between the two creatures and activate my skill roll or my inner glow.
Okay.
And I want to use what did I want to use? I want to use perform as I like try to make it bright and distracting for them.
Go ahead. So that'll be a complexity 2. That's your first action.
Okay. If it says roll, oh, that just makes it show up there. Okay, so I still have to hit perform complexity 2.
Yeah. Oh, so
oh no!
Is a failure.
Big fail.
Double 5. It's all been fun and games for a while. Now,
The
Oh
joke is on you.
the joke is on you. So what I'm gonna say is you do become very distracting. So distracting, in fact, that the Kithuk, who was laid down low with their final breath, goes up with a laser pistol and takes a shot, but unfortunately they hit you, Mondo.
Oh
And
no!
you take damage as that happens.
And so
then
I have
at the end of your turn.
And I have a shield charge, so I would take that first, correct?
Yes, yeah, your shield goes first.
Okay.
So yeah, so your shield is gone. Your turn is over. Who would like to act next?
I'll go ahead and make that.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and make that knowledge check to see if there's anything we can learn about these creatures to use against them and generate some advantage for the team.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, that's complexity 2.
Complexity 2.
All right. Yay!
Hey.
All right. So you generate an advantage for your team. You know that these creatures are called Velame, and Velame are they're very, very like aggressive species that is endangered right now because of the burn. You do know that they have a particular love of citrus fruit, and that they have a particular love of music as well. That those sort of things can distract them.
All right, I share that information freely with the group, and someone throw oranges at Mondu.
And you can
Don't
keep
kill
taking.
them.
You can.
Don't kill them. They're very endangered and therefore very valuable. Also, all life is precious.
You can keep acting if you would like, Ian.
Oh, that's right, because I can keep going until I fail. But if I fail, there are horrible consequences. I love this system. I love how like gambling is part of just the everyday.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see if there's any kind of. Oh my goodness! All right. I am like moving around. Like there's no like I see we have movement speed on our sheet. Does that count as an action, or is that like how does movement speed come into play?
You get one free move on your turn that doesn't cost any action, and then if you want to move more than that, you have to make a skill roll to do it. So the first time you move, it's not. Yeah, and the move is the number of squares you move.
Right. Okay. Can I? They love music. All right, I'm gonna stretch this out here, and so the old does the DM buy this? I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my. Let's make sure I got the words here correctly. Can I go ahead and pull up my smart slab? There it is. And taking what I know about these creatures, like, can I try to like find a song on Space YouTube to quell their nature? And I'm shooting for an empathy roll here.
Okay, yeah, I buy it.
Okay,
So go ahead, and don't forget to be checking off your Nova points, everybody, as you're doing.
Yep. So this is going to be an empathy. This is going to be empathy complexity 3, right? Because this is the second action I'm taking on this turn.
Yes.
All right. There it is.
Okay,
Nice.
and that is a pass. So what I'm going to say is they also can be overcome with conditions, which make it easier for you to do things to them, attack them, or mess with them, or that kind of thing. So I'm going to give each of them a condition, a significant condition, which means all skill checks made to affect them currently are at like an extra, or they're reduced by 1 to 2 minimum. So that means your skill effectively, like, it's 2, 2, 3, yada yada.
Okay.
Did I do a good job explaining that? No, I did not.
We believe in you.
Does anyone need that again?
We're extra effective against them.
Yes, exactly. So, and I will keep track of that and remind you all of that.
All right, and I'm not fishing here to make sure I understand correctly. Does that also generate an advantage, or is that only?
You know what? Yeah, why not? Boom.
Love
Woo.
it.
All right, and if that,
Would you like to keep going?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, do you want to keep going?
So that was my last Nova dice used. So does that mean I earn a Nova point?
It does.
All right. I am going to stop there. So I'm done.
Okay, cool. So let's see. We've got Ket, we've got Ruka, and we've got Absolute still to go.
And you're just playing music on your iPad?
Yeah. John Cusack.
Ah, Will Smith getting
Or Will
spacey with it. I love
There's
it.
that too. I'm playing just the two of us, but it's just the two of us in space, so it's pretty much the same song. It's just pew, pew, pew.
But you can see that the animals are immediately distracted as soon as the music comes on. They keep kind of looking over, and almost looking like tilting their heads. You know, like when dogs are curious about something. That's what it looks like.
You wanted to go, Michael?
Sure. I'm going to try and use my. I'm going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so they can both of these creatures can see me. I think from here, and because just the two of us is happening, and I want to get to a Nova point, I'm going to see if I can do. Just the two of us is kind of a sad song in a way, but uplifting. So I'm gonna do a sad but uplifting twerk, as a Ronin, and try and use decorum
Okay.
to really set the music going, to really get them to enjoy the music.
Okay.
Perfect.
So this is sure. Yeah. Go ahead. So decorum.
What
As
complexity?
a group of bugs twerks. So it's your first action. So it's 2.
Wait.
Yeah.
Important question, Michael. Are
Yes.
the bugs twerking as a hive mind? So like your whole form, your humanoid form is twerking, or is each bug individually?
Both.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like one of those paintings where each frame is made up of an image of the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
So-
The collage. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You zoom in, it
So
just
that's
twerks
the-
all the way down.
Exactly. It's a
Yes.
Mandelbrot of twerking, just as you go deeper and deeper.
So you start twerking, and these large apes kind of start mimicking you a little bit, right? Like they're bouncing along.
You are the dance
getting
leader.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they are getting into it. So you have succeeded. You have used your D4, which I think means you have a Nova point.
No, I need D10 left over, which I'm getting into.
Twerk was a setup.
The twerk was a setup. I'm going to. I guess I'll have to swarm. I'm gonna sneakily try to swarm, like send a couple bugs to kind of swarm onto them. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that. So while they're distracted by twerking, I'm gonna send a little, like, disattach a couple of bugs and send some on each of them, and see if I can stealthily do that without them squishing them.
Gotcha. Go ahead. That'll be stealth. And is there any end to this, or is that like, hey, if I get the Nova point, that's the next?
I might do something right after this Nova point and then call it after that. So once I do the stealth and then use my special ability, I'll be done after that. If everything goes well. So stealth, what complexity is that going to be?
3, because it's your second turn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, nice. So yes, you managed to get bugs, some bugs released from the hive, and are crawling through their fur as they twerk right now.
Sweet. Perfect.
Oh, and I'm sorry, that actually should have been at 2 because of the condition. So, but anyway, you passed anyway. So you super passed.
Super passed. And then I'm going to use only 1 Nova point to do the psychic lock. I think I can use that on the one that is the furthest away from the party. So I'm going to use my... And do I have to roll the Nova ability for that?
Yes. So can you throw it in the chat and we'll see how it works. I do not remember. You spend 1 Nova point to successfully... So this just automatically happens. You don't actually have to make a skill roll. When you successfully use the psychic interference special ability. Oh no, so you do have to use psychic interference. Yeah, so you do have to make a skill roll.
Psychic, which one is that one? The psychic interference. Okay, so I'll roll this one, and I'll have to make a social skill check. So I will use... My socials are over here. I guess I will use my empathy to do that.
Okay. Go for it.
Because they're endangered. We don't want to hurt them, so it's empathy. Let's see here. And we'll roll that. And then I'll use the Nova point following that to...
So this one should be at complexity 3 because
3? Okay, I'll roll that again.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no, that is a fail. Now you can re-roll one of those by spending an advantage if you want.
Sure, I will do that. So I'll try and re-roll. And still at 3, right?
So yeah, just roll a d8 in roll 20. Or a d12. Sorry. Yeah, d12.
Okay. How do I just roll a d12 then?
So you can either on the left-hand side, there's that that d20 that if you hover over.
D12, there we go.
Boom. So that's good. That turns that fail into a success because you turned a 3 into a 7.
Nice.
So yes, so this one gets locked in place. I'm going to put a big red X over them so that we understand. Yes. So for the next 8 hours, unless you free them, they cannot do anything. They're twerking and they stop like mid-twerk, butt out, right there.
Stop. That's
large.
Stop.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Mondu takes a picture.
That was the turn. So that leaves Absolute and Ruka.
I am seeing all this mess that's going on. The dancing, the twerking. I'm gonna step forward, and Absolute is the kind of character that looks for an alternate path forward. What is the lighting situation in this? Is it pretty bright?
My sword is shedding bright light for 30 feet.
That's true.
Yeah. So it is very bright, and the flickering is actually not in this hall. So we got lots of light.
This is just really silly. We nearly have the other one maybe down. I'm gonna pull out my pistol, and I am aiming for just a panel of lights. I'm assuming it's probably a series of tubes like most ships are. And I'm shooting the lights out.
Yes.
We're gonna get some mood lighting in this bitch. All right.
I love it. This will definitely generate an advantage too.
Calming, what do I do that with? Ranged?
Yes.
Is that a roll? Okay.
Yeah. So
and it's a
you can do that with
complexity of
range,
2.
Yep.
A pass. Okay.
You pass. So the lights go out as you get some of your rage out, shooting these lights, which is going to create an advantage for you and your allies now that it's a little dark and moody in here.
What else am I seeing around this room that's like not going to that stands out to me maybe as something that's not immediately going to kill this endangered creature?
Oh, good question. So, the doors are all like wide open here. But this sort of module before you, right?
What is that thing?
Yeah, it's like this dome that kind of comes out of the floor, like maybe 2 feet high, and then is domed around. Because you've been on spaceships and space stations before. This is like a little power station, right? So some of the ship's power, probably like for this area, is controlled by this thing, almost like a circuit breaker. So like a taser kind of type thing. You might be able to do something with that. You've also got in the ceiling, like you said, you've got lighting that is the series of tubes. You've also got pipes that would probably make like steam. There are some wires that are hanging that you might be able to use to do something with. So you've got a fair amount of environmental effects. You've got this corpse, this Kithel corpse over here that you could use.
I don't think it tastes like oranges. Probably not very palatable. I'm gonna head over to this module thingy, and you said it works like a taser? Is it?
So it's like a circuit breaker, right? It's a lot of electricity, so you could maybe turn it into a taser if you wanted to.
Ooh, like overloaded or something.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go for it. I'm gonna look over at Ruka and Mondu and just you might want to watch out. And I'm gonna start fiddling with the stuff. I'm gonna say it's probably engineering.
Okay. Yeah. I buy that for sure.
Okay. And this is a 3, correct? Or is it a?
This will be, well, you're trying to affect them, so this is a 2 because the music is still distracting.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. This is great. Okay. So yeah, there is this big burst of like blue electricity as you overload this thing, Absolute, and you're tinkering with your tools, and all of a sudden it shoots out and showers this simian who is temporarily shocked and looks like they were harmed by it, but not in a lethal kind of way, if that makes sense.
I would say now is the time, Ruka.
Nice. Would you like to keep going, Adelaide?
No, I'll let Ruka go.
Okay, Ruka, now is the time.
Time for what? Okay, yeah. Is there like non-lethally attacking in this game?
Yes, essentially when you reduce, so you can use any skill to attack if you want to. You can use social skills to berate someone into and it essentially deals damage, right? If they're berated enough, they stop attacking, they're out of the fight, they've been dealt down to 0, but they're not dead, right? They're just like emotionally scarred, probably. So you've got that going for you, that you have these skills that you can use, but also when you reduce someone to 0 health levels, you get to choose what happens to them.
Okay.
So even if it's traditional. Now the other thing you should know is they're going to attack you. You can use skills as an active defense. So you can either try to beat this creature to a bloody pulp until it gets to attack you and be put down, or you could use one of your skill rows to counter one or both of its attacks. It's going to try to attack you twice when it gets there, and if you succeed, then those attacks will not hit, but you won't have dealt damage to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Okay.
So I've got a 3-phase plan. So the first phase, I'm going to try beating it into a bloody pulp, without killing it. So I'm going to make a melee attack, complexity 2.
Nice. Okay,
We're not gonna kill this
hits.
endangered creature. We're just gonna permanently maim it.
I just want it to stop trying to kill me. It's self-defense.
So you hit it again, but it is still standing and it looks enraged now.
It was
the
happy
music is
twerking.
no longer.
Now it's pissed.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to like grab it and kind of drag it into the sparking circuitry next to Absolute, so it keeps like arcing inside of that until it just kind of
Love it.
stops. So athletics.
Yep. Yeah, I buy that.
All right. At 2 because they have the -1.
Right from the twerking distraction.
and it's working.
So yeah. You throw them into this thing, and they are shocked as well. They are breathing very heavy, but they still have this snarl about them.
Cool. And then I'm going to GTFO. I want to try to stealthily kind of slip away with this blip in my arms and go through this wall off to the right of me, just like phase through it since I'm holding onto it still.
Yes, you can totally do that.
All right, so I will try to stealth. Is it at 3 or 4? Since they're perceiving the stealth, but
yeah. So this is because it's against them, right? Like they're trying to see it. We'll make it.
okay.
Great.
Pass.
So that is a success.
And then me and my sweet blip are gonna come over here, pass through the wall, and just end out of sight of them.
Excellent. So
And that's
you
it.
pass through the wall. Do you want to do anything else? You do see a big laser cannon in this room when you come in.
Endangered species.
I never played
It looks like
multiplayer.
it's meant to shoot outside of the space station, right? Like, so it actually is meant to like raise up out of the space station
Sure.
and
I'll
and shoot it on.
Whoa. Interesting. I'll move a little bit closer to the giant laser cannon, and then I'll end there.
Okay. So the Velme gets up, and it's going to try to resolve its action, but you have disappeared from its senses, right? And so it stands, and it is going to start to run towards you, Mandu. It looks like it is
That
now
seems
getting
fair.
ready to attack you. But it doesn't get to resolve its action, so its attack does not hit, which means we're back in PC actions. Who would like to go?
Oh, so if we create a way to basically cancel out its declared actions, it loses those.
Mm-hmm.
It
Correct.
doesn't readjust.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a plan?
I'm just gonna keep popping back in and out.
How beleaguered does this creature look? Looking pretty
Very,
pretty
very beleaguered. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to beleaguered.
I would say, he's a gentle breeze away from fully beleagued.
All right. Can with the parties. So so is it something that I think since as a kind of a fun holdover from a lot of other RPG systems, which I'm not sure if actually it is fun, is like when one person's like, okay, I have a crazy idea, and then you're just like, all right, we give you consent for your crazy idea, but nobody knows what it is. Or it could be that like I pitch. Is the mystery fun, or is the mystery like a pain in the butt? I'm getting
Yeah, just go for it. Do it.
All right.
Do the thing.
All right.
It's fun for me.
All right. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to try to rush over to the incapacitated creature.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's my movement. So in order for me to move again, I have to make some kind of roll to keep the train going. Is that as I understand it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna say straight up athletics check. Okay.
Okay. Yep, that
Um,
makes sense. Keep pushing yourself.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Let's see here, complexity 2. It's a pass.
Pat. So you get to move again.
All right. And so I'm going to move up next to this creature here. Now, this creature is completely incapacitated, right? It's got absolutely, it cannot respond in any way. All right.
Correct.
Okay.
Unless Ket wants to, at this very moment, release that.
All right.
Ket.
I am not releasing. It is my bug is twerking on that creature and paralyzing it at the moment.
Could I use my Nova point to make us some sweet cash right now?
Yeah, sure. What do you? Oh, you want to sell the creature?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what this looks like.
So I'm just going to cross the streams here a little bit. I'm going to rush up to this creature because I know a good deal when I see one, and I'm going to snap. I'm gonna pull out a small vial, like a magical vial. I'm going to snap it to basically summon a connection channel on my comms badge with the most, the most conniving, ruthless, clever, backhanded black market dealer this side of the galaxy. That's right, Pip Yap.
You have crossed the streams, and I am proud of you. Yes. So you hear a voice on the other end say, "What do you got for me?"
Pip Yap, I'm not going to waste your time. I've got here this endangered species, the simian. We're talking, these things are incredibly valuable, and it's incapacitated courtesy of of my Belanket friend here's psychic interference. It is in your complete. You can restrain this creature any way you need it, but I need to sell it. I need to sell it now. I mean, right now. I mean,
This is the primo shit.
this is deal, sale of the century, and this window is closing in like 6 seconds.
All right. What do you say? 10,000 Argent.
Done.
All right. I'm glad I didn't have to give up my tank for this. And you all see like this circle appears on the ground in like glowing runes beneath the simian, and suddenly they are teleported away.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go.
I like this game,
it.
James. This is a fun
Incredible.
game.
Incredible.
Game here.
Bravo, Ian.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have never seen this used that way. That's great.
All right.
I approve.
As for the one that's alive, I have no clue. So, I'm gonna try to. Oh gosh, I mean, it's pissed at this point. It's enraged.
It's also on its last leg.
I leave it. You know what? I am backed up by some of the most competent space adventurers this side of the nebula. They'll take care of it. I'm done.
Okay.
I guess I will just wing it and try not to kill it. I'm just gonna shoot at its ankle, since apparently these are endangered, but now we don't care because we sell them. So I will.
Selling them to a good cause.
Yeah, a good cause. You said the most shady black market, dude. That's like the worst cause. I'm going to.
The good cause was 10,000 Argent. I'm pretty sure that was
okay.
We just went real fast from like making a club to being poachers.
It just like shifted real fast. I'm going to use my laser rifle. I don't have any charges here. Does it come? I imagine it's charged because we came from our ship.
Yeah. So ammo is unlimited. You're good with that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a ranged attack on it, and what the complexity is 2 because it's my first thing on this that I'm doing. Okay, so you're gonna see my laser rifle come out of like my chest because it's all my stuff are just stored inside my humanoid figure. It's gonna come out to my chest and go into like shift down to my hands and arms, and then I'm going to try and shoot it in the ankle.
Nice. Go for it. And you do. That is a pass. So yeah, you hit it in the ankle, and it falls down and is crying, sort of letting out this mournful low, like.
Oh.
As it cradles its ankle in the fetal position in the middle of the floor here. We are out of initiative.
Okay.
You shot him.
And that is, I do want to throw this out there because this was a particularly easy battle. That combat can get out of control very, very quickly sometimes.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah, this was great.
I mean, yeah, I can imagine that if we were all pushing ourselves to keep trying actions until we failed, it could get real hairy real fast.
Yeah, and usually there's more than 2 critters. So, or sometimes they're not usually. Usually it's whatever. It's a role playing game. It can be anything. So yeah. So you, but this big Velame is now on the ground, grabbing its ankle, crying.
I would like to. I have. Was it quick bandages? Was that a thing?
Sort of looks like, by the way.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah, I bought some quick bandages, and I'd like to use one and make a medicine check, to kind of patch it up and make sure it's okay, and if I could follow that up with an empathy to try to like befriend it, like we're not bad, big thing.
Yes. So since we're out of combat, I'm gonna say the medical check to bandage it is going to be like a 4 because it really doesn't want your help, and the empathy check is also going to be a 4.
Oh, this should work out well then.
What do you have? D4s in this?
No, I have a D8 in medicine.
For
Yeah.
oh, never mind.
So that is a failure. Let's see. So something wears out. And I think what has worn out is the patience of this Velame. And so when you come forward, it's actually very scared of you. And it is going to just like slink back into the corner and start howling. And as it starts to howl, you hear a voice behind you that you recognize as the plasma ghost that you met earlier. Say, "Are you coming?"
Oh, yeah. I suppose so. Where did Ruka go?
And I point to the wall.
Ruka will phase back through the wall with Blip.
And can I recharge my personal shield? Does that take a roll or anything like that, or just spending a power cell?
So that's just you spend a power cell to put it in. It is a roll if you do it in combat.
Gotcha.
Because like the pressure.
Oh, hey, there's our little ghost friend. Little ghost friend.
Yeah. So when you say, "Oh yeah," she turns around, and you see this creature is whimpering and just moving further down the hall, back towards sort of where the airlock is.
That's probably
as you
for the
go
best.
the opposite.
Hopefully it doesn't go to our ship, but oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who's the last one out? We all look.
I don't think
we all
anyone.
I'll be the last.
absolutes.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the rear. I'm very slow and methodical. I walk with purpose. Thank you.
Did you close the door behind you?
How often
what did
does
you say?
Absolute remember to close the door?
Say that again.
I said, did Absolute remember to close the door behind her?
I'm gonna say yes. Yes. They're a
Okay.
staunch door closer.
That makes sense. Yeah, methodical to me says like someone who knows what they're doing.
Sure.
It's also probably like putting on your seatbelt. Like, don't leave the airlock open.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're like,
Pretty
oh,
So
smart,
common.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So the ghost is leading you, and they lead you to this door all the way down here, and then they walk through again. Bloop, as they make their way.
I guess I'm gonna check if the door is locked.
Okay. So yes, this door actually is locked when you come up to it.
Cool. I'm gonna try and use my ability, and I see how fast it goes. But I'm gonna do devour metal, so
Okay.
I can consume 1 pound of non-living, non-magical metal in 1 minute. So eat a hole through a metal door. It says compromise the ship's hull and consume a piece of metal evidence. So I will do that.
evidence if it gets down to that.
Yeah, I'll do that to kind of create a hole so that I can swarm through and maybe unlock it from the other side.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love that. So you're gonna eat a pound a hole that is like a pound
Mhm.
big, so that you can then get through to the other side.
Stunning.
Yeah. Does anybody want to be doing anything else for the minute that happened, or are we good?
I'll be slowly put my lockpicks back in my pocket.
Okay. Cool. So you start to put your lockpicks back, and you do manage to eat your way through, and Ket, as you make it to the other side, you see the ghost is back here, like hiding behind some barrels.
Yeah.
And you a bunch of Eno and Kithuk pirates and an Olrin pirate, and some of the Eno have this glean that they are holding over a pit of plasma.
Oh boy.
And they look up as you enter, and the Olrin says, I guess the Velame didn't stop them. And says, just a minute, don't open that door, my friend. If you do, this scientist here, and they motion to the glean, is going to have a very, very bad day.
Let me see. I'm gonna communicate to the rest of the party. It seems that they have a glean that they're threatening to kill over a pool of plasma. They don't want me to open the door, so ready yourselves.
As we hear that, I would like to activate my special ability, my inner glow ability.
Okay.
Using power, because I'm making myself really hot and glowy, and I tell everybody to make sure they don't touch me.
You are really hot and glowy, Steven. It's
true.
And it says I have to make a skill roll, so would that be complexity 2?
So what do you do? Oh, to activate your I think that's complexity 2. There's no other pressure or anything.
Cool. Yeah, so you watch as my crystals just start to glow from the inside, and you can all feel the heat kind of radiating out of Mondu. I'm ready.
I'm going to stealthily try and send some bugs to maybe see if they can open the door while I'm spilling my form through the hole that I put.
Gotcha.
At the same time, I'm just gonna phase through the door to stand next to him, hopefully providing some distraction so they might not see the bugs going for the button.
Sure. So yeah, you phase through. You also sort of phase through some of Ket's bugs as you move too, probably, right? Which
Yeah.
doesn't have any effect on either of you, but it is weird. So
So do you want me to make a stealth check to kind of open the door without them noticing right away to give us some time to maybe like, enter the room very quickly so that everyone could come through without them knowing like I'm going for the button actively?
yeah, I think that sounds great. So yeah, make a stealth skill roll. I will tell you the complexity. I just need to look up a stat because usually these are against somebody else's. So yeah, this is going to be. This is actually going to be. Well, you've got aid from your friend moving through, so it'll be 4, not 5.
Okay. So do 4. Let's go. Come on. No, this is me. Why do I do this? Oh, I'm so bad.
It's only double ones too.
Oh,
Oh no!
oh, you relive a painful memory.
Classic.
So, Chat, tell me about the time you couldn't save someone from falling into a pool of plasma.
Oh, sure. This is when I was connected to another hive at some point, and we were over for some reason. Like we were together and we were doing a mission to kind of open up. This is where I found my bone. So like, yeah, I was over a pool and I was connected to someone else who were both working the same job. And at some point, the pool flashed and both of our bug forms freaked out and they slipped through my grasp and they went into the pool of plasma, and then they uncovered somehow the bone, which I was able to pick up later. So that was my painful memory.
Oh, that's awesome. And so as you're reliving this, right, the bone you actually feel starts to vibrate, because it's like the bone is reliving the memory too.
Yes.
And the bone wants to kill the shit out of the pirates who just dropped that glean into the pool.
no.
And you hear the pirate captain go, "Oops!" The Olren, as this glean falls in and is screaming now in the
Oh
pool.
no.
But they are actually still alive right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are taking damage, as it were. However, yeah. So you relive that very painful memory as this happens, and you can feel the vibrations. The Olren then looks at you, Ruka, and says, "Now that's what I've been looking for." And he points to the blip that you are holding.
Yeah.
Has the door opened? Whoa.
Oh yeah, the door is open. You did manage to get the door open. I should have thrown that out.
Cool.
Why did we all get mixed up?
Because
Oh, it looks like Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in through the door now. We'll get those fixed as soon as Adelaide returns.
Okay. Cool. Uh-oh. I zoomed in way too close. Okay.
Oh, her power just went out. So.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, that means her. Uh-oh. That'll be interesting. Okay.
Oh right, her recording.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I'll be able to. It'll be fine. It just won't be as pretty as normal.
Okay.
Cool.
That's my
cool,
motto.
cool.
Not as pretty as moral. Okay, so you all, I think this is probably combat again. The door has been opened by Ket. So Dropo is going to. I'm going to use some of the markers here so we can see like who is declared an attack on who, because we have more than a couple creatures here now. Dropo is declaring an attack on you, Ruka, because he can see that you're carrying the blip. Let's see, and our other pirates here.
Are all the other pirates Eno?
So their marker is an Eno, but they're actually a bunch of different pirates.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Yeah. This is like the art in the bestiary for what these creatures are. But yeah, they're not all. Okay, so. Dun, dun, dun. So if you share a marker with someone, they have declared an attack against you. So right now, everybody is declaring their attacks.
And is these attacks being declared like via like pulling out blasters and pointing them at us? Are we working
Yes,
with all?
exactly. So
Yeah.
they each one of them has a laser pistol. So they are pulling out the laser pistols to point them at you, except for the captain, who I think has a laser rifle and is pointing it. And this pirate. Oh yeah, this. I'm gonna use a snail for. Wow, I'm got too many here.
Snail.
This one is going to use the ninja face.
Because he's a sneaky boy.
That's right. And this final one is actually looks like they are running back towards this door for some reason. So they say, and the Dropo says, "Oh, and I assume you probably came on a ship. That's good because we need a way out of here. These scientists took care of ours." Yeah, so that is going to mean that the enemies have declared their actions. The PCs can now go.
Sorry, everything's falling apart on the stream. Just a second.
Oh no!
All right, you can bring up the rear here, Terrabora boy. I'm gonna reach into my pockets and I'm gonna pull out this special little piece that I picked up at the last station we refueled at, a breach bomb. Now, does the breach bomb do what I think it's gonna do? Go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go ahead.
Will it create a hull breach?
Possibly. So, do you want it to? I mean, let's be frank about that. Would you like a hull breach?
I'm pulling a straight up. This is going to be a straight up Return of the Jedi thermal detonator routine.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah. I think, essentially, they can, in the hands of an expert, yes, they can definitely create a breach, even in an armored space station like this.
What if tossed into a pool of plasma?
Oh, that would be very bad.
Wouldn't it, though? That's exactly what I say to Dropo as I pull out this 4-inch radius bomb that, as my tail swishes back and forth, and I like slowly start walking towards this pool of plasma. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to put myself right next to it. I'm going to basically like, if you shoot me, it falls.
Wow. This is a power move right here.
I love
it.
It's a power move, and I like it. Yeah. So there's and Dropo seems to like it, right? He chuckles. Like, oh, that is very good, my friend. I'll tell you what. How about you don't drop it, and instead, I'm willing to split the earnings I'll make from this little blip with you.
The blip is not for sale.
Oh.
No. The blip is not for sale. Here's what's.
And he said, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
I said, "Here's what's going to happen, and I know you're not going to do this for free. I'm going to give you a way out. You're going to fish that gleam out of that pool of plasma. You're going to turn them over to us. You're going to give us half of what you're carrying, and if that's weapons, then so be it. And then you're going to take my word that I'm going to send a ship back here to pick you all up. in the next 3 days. But any survivors, anyone else you got on hold, they all come with us, and you get to stay here. That's my deal. Or
Wow.
we can figure out how long you survive in the breach of space.
Froze the DM.
So I think this is like an out of right. We're not really in combat, right? So I do
Not
think
really,
the
no.
complexity of this, the complexity of this is greater than 2 because you're asking a lot, but you are like in a compelling position that it makes sense to me.
And I'm giving him a way
so,
out. I'm giving him a way out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like
Well,
hand yourself over for arrest.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the burn is right there, right? And so will he hold for 3 days? He's got to do a lot of mental calculus here. I mean me. Go ahead, Ian. What skill do you think you're using right now?
I think I'm using a streetwise role right now because I understand he's a criminal and I'm speaking on his level. Like I know he's screwed, and so I'm speaking in language that he can understand. He's not going to have our ship, but I am going to give him a way out. Provided he lets the captives go with us. The fact that I'm asking for his guns and his weapons is really I'm just giving him something to haggle with so he can save face in front of his men.
All right.
I'm not really expecting
I'm going to say this is complexity 5. We're going.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. Do you have any advantages on the board right now? I look at the turn order. It says now.
No, yeah, they reset at the end of combat. Advantages are lost.
Big boy rolls right here.
All right. Now I'd say that I would ask if I could use my natural liar, but I'm actually being honest with him right now. So I'm gonna lean away from that. I'm just gonna go do a straight up streetwise complexity 5 roll.
Yeah.
What's your number or what's your die size?
It's the biggest one.
Streetwise.
That's the biggest one.
All right. You got a shot.
Unfortunately, my sheet's giving me a bit of a meh here, so I'm just going to go ahead and reset it.
Okay.
All right.
We just get to be in suspense.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, complexity 5. Here it comes. Ready.
Yes!
There, I'm resetting your speakers there.
There we
Oh my
go.
God.
You always had a chance.
Yeah.
Never
For the
told me
listening
the
audience, that was a pass. That was a 10, a 5, an 8, a 6, and a 9, all different numbers, which means Dropo looks at the grunts and says, "Get the glean." And they like look around like, oh crap, and they start to like take off their pants and tie them together to give the glean something to grab onto.
I'm like starting to wonder. You can keep your. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Right. This was not part of the deal. And he says, "Fine. I'll give you half of what you want. You can take the other scientists with you." And he says, "The ship you send, if you can get it here any faster, I will be even greater in your debt. The burn is right outside these walls."
A favor from Dropo Solabrata himself. That's worth its weight in plasma, and I will give him an acquiescing nod.
Mm-hmm. And so they will give you half of their equipment. They like hand you the pants that they tied together. There are several other scientists. Right? Yeah, we don't need your pants. There are several other scientists that were being kept in another room that they bring out, and they have them go with you off of the ship. I assume this whole time, Ian, that you are holding the like the breach bomb over the
pool of plasma. Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, they hand over their weapons to everybody and everything like that. The blip looks up at you, and Ruka,
Yeah.
and is sort of like giving a little a nice little purr sound as they nuzzle up against you, which I'm going to say removes your negative condition. Not that it doesn't matter that much since we're sort of at the end of things here. However, they the scientist, one of the scientists says to you like, "Oh, that blip, that belonged to the chef." And you see that the plasma ghost is like looking at you, and just gives a nod to you, Ruka, like, this is a good home for their pet now.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. We'll be best friends. And I pull out a another like friendship bracelet that fits just like a perfect collar around the blip. Just like put it on.
And I will put one of my bugs on it if it's okay, if it consents, so that what do you call it? Ruka can hear what the pet is saying and telepathically communicate with the pet.
Oh.
Yeah. It is a constant demand, a constant stream of demands for pets and treats.
Ruka is easily pushed over and constantly pets and gives it treats. You sort of everything is loaded up. You do see that the other Velame is sort of passed out in that cargo bay. It looked like they were banging against the doors, the airlock doors to get in, but they didn't actually open anything. And they're passed out, and you're able to move everything inside. However, Seal Davi, you are still standing there with the breach bomb over the plasma.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. And Dropo looks at you and he says, "So how does this end?"
And he says, "I hope you don't have Butterfingers." And I toss it to him, and I run.
Oh! Do you like book out as you throw it his way?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll make a skill roll for him to see if he catches it.
I will also toss. I have one too, and I'll just toss one into the pool as we're.
No. We don't want to blow up the research station.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I love it.
I love it. I'm picturing like Seal Davi tossing the bomb and then tossing another one, and Seal Davi being like trying to catch it before it goes in.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, he does pass and catches it, but that does give you the time to sort of leave without anybody shooting anybody or anything like that. And you make it to your ship, and you are able to take off and blast off towards the stars now with several rescued scientists in your hull, and they're sort of very grateful. And they talk to you about how ARC will definitely be able to reward you for for saving them, and also because you sparing the station has managed, they can like uplink with it and get all the data off of it too, even though it's occupied by pirates and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And so that is probably where we're going to end Burn Bryte.
Sweet.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
thank you all. That was a little taste. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was awesome. This was so fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us and running us through that and taking some time out of your day. Why don't you give the people listening one more shot at where to find all this and you and all that stuff?
Sure, yeah. So I'm James Introcaso. I'm at jamesintrocaso.com, at James Introcaso on Twitter, and at worldbuilderblog.com. And you can find out more about Burn Bryte at bryte.com. And I never explained why it's spelled that way, but it's because in this universe, a Bryte is an age, right? So like there is an age of exploration before the Burn Bryte, and that's called the Exploration Bryte. So it is the age of the burn that people are living in, and that's why it's called.
Cool.
That's very cool. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, for listening. We are going to get this up on our podcast feed in 2 parts. It will also go up on YouTube as well. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Adelaide's power went out. So that's where she went, which sucks, but that is what it is. The rest of you guys want to plug yourselves real quick again, one more time?
Sure. I guess I'll go. My name is Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere. I also play here on Twitch, Michael Crits. I'll probably be streaming later on today. Just keep a check on my Twitter, and I play a lot of games, not on my Twitch channel, but a lot of TTRPGs on other channels. And to figure out when, just look at my Twitter and pay attention to that and hit follow on that.
Emily?
Yep. Hey, I'm Emily Harmon, Emily JEA Harmon everywhere. I'm a D&D writer for DM's Guild Adventures League. And you can follow my Twitter for more updates.
And Ian?
Hey everyone, my name is Ian Gould at ENG Gould on Twitter. I write for DM's Guild Adventures League, and follow me on Twitter for any projects I'm working on and pictures of my cat.
And I'm Steven. I'm at _BadDM on Twitter. I am the DM and producer of the Faeforge Academy, which is normally not a Burn Bryte podcast. It is for the next couple weeks. We're a 5th edition. What are we? A 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons podcast set at the Faeforge Academy, which is a school of magic and crafting that's set where the veils between the material plane and the Feywild is thinnest. And so we're there every week. We have episodes that come out every Friday. So check us out, faeforgeacademy.com, at Faeforge Academy. Follow us here on Twitch. And again, thanks everyone who hung out. Hope you enjoyed the game. Go buy Burn Bryte. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. It integrates all this fancy stuff, like the rolling and stuff is built into Roll20, which is huge for like me personally. I always get really scared using Roll20 because I don't know how to use it. And this was super easy. And again, thanks James for hanging out with us. And we will see you all.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. We will see you all next time. There used to be a raid button on here, but I don't know where it is. Okay, bye.